Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Justing, and we're here in our ladder bracket playoff, the gauntlet as we like to call it. And before we get into everything that is HeroesCCL, let's check in with our amazing friends because we have had, well, let's be blunt, it's been a long week. It's been a very long week leading into all of this, especially with the time off, the US holiday. But of course, Grubby, what did you get up to in the basically 2 weeks we've had off?
I went to ask chat which games I should purchase on Steam during the Steam sale, and they made me spend $200 of games that I mostly still haven't touched.
So it's like everyone else's Steam library.
Exactly.
No one actually plays the games they get. Did you get Raft by chance?
I did not. No, I've been seeing people play that, but I did get Chivalry 2, which is a really cool medieval, beautiful graphics hack and slash. Nice to blow off some steam. Just tried it. It was fun.
Okay. Yeah, someone actually gifted me generously Raft, so I've been playing a little bit of it here and there. I've been checking out StarCraft 2 again, because, I don't know, it's just like one of those things, like, I haven't played Wings of Liberty in years, so, like, let's give it a shot and check it out. But, of course, Justin, what have you been up to in our time off?
Yep, mostly the same. Just spending money on Steam games that I'll probably play once and then never touch ever again. And, yeah, just playing some games in general. It's been fun, but I'm excited to see what the teams have brought to us this weekend.
Oh, I'm ready for it. We are in to our gauntlet. This is kind of like the boss rush in like Cuphead or a boss rush in Shadow of the Colossus, but we'll get into what all of that looks like in a second. We want to break down the pricing for all of you. And now typically we have a graphic that shows, oh, here's 60%, here's 40%. Well, due to the changes with the LAN, Wisdom is going to be putting in $10,000 into the prize pool, and there's no longer a split between Wisdom and the players. It's no longer a 60-40 split. It is 100% for the players. Everything for the prize pool, including that extra 10K, which will be added in at the end of the season, will be going to the players. So if you feel more incentivized now to donate towards the prize pool, because it is going 100% to the players, with, I believe, first place taking 35% of the 100%. You can use ! prize pool in chat to get you over to the match arena. We're at $13,617 because of your generosity, your support, and your love for the Heroes of the Storm game. So thank you all so very much for your support and love for this league and game. But of course, let's go ahead and check out what everything looks like right now, Justing, and kind of break down for everyone at home what we can see coming up in this weekend of our gauntlet.
So we've got the standings first, where we're seeing 30K, Oxygen, and Wildheart all locked in for the top 3 for the playoffs, for the finals. And we're going to have the 4th through 8th place duking it out for their spot in the top 4.
And Grubby looking over at that bracket, that illustrious bracket. Can we take a look at that, and can you break down what is going to be happening?
Yeah, we can see at the top of that ladder bracket, we see Diamond Hands that only needs to win a single series in order to make it to the top 4 playoffs. And that's because they have 3 fewer map points won than Wildheart, who managed to clinch 3rd place. Just 3 maps. And they could have maybe been there, but they're not. However, they have the same map differential as Chili Mountain, who will be under them because Diamond Hands directly beat Chili Mountain. Little things, such little things that determine things. Because Chili Mountain, as you can see, will need to win 2 best of series in order to qualify. Whoever comes up, and then Diamond Hands themselves will be their final challenger. Granit Gaming and Simplicity start at the bottom of the ladder, the very first rung. It's a full 4 match in a row knockout challenge for both of them, with their second challenge being Storm Esports, whoever makes it up.
We're going to have 2 amazing best of 5s today, as you were mentioning. Granit Gaming versus Simplicity, and Storm Esports will go up against the winner of that first matchup of the day, and as you can see right here. So these will also all be best of 5s as well, just for anyone that is wondering. There's no change into any of the setup right now for the season or into the bracket. Of course, the grand finals eventually, when we make it down there in August, will be a weighted best of 7 for that grand finals. But that is what we're going to be figuring out. Well, we're going to be figuring out that double elimination bracket this weekend here on HeroesCCL. It's going to be very, very exciting, and it's just I'm excited for the games. I'm excited to see what the players are going to be bringing to the table, whether it be digging into the bag of tricks, or if it's just going to be, hey, let's just grab something super meta and blow up their tank and win the game. game. We'll have to see, but hopefully it's not like that Towers of Doom draft Oxygen had earlier today, because that one was a little rough to watch. But let's go ahead and talk about our amazing sponsor, Next Level Gaming. What is Next Level Gaming? They're a Miami-based esports center where you can play Heroes of the Storm among 400 other pre-installed games that are updated daily. Next Level Gaming is a Blizzard cafe, which gives you extra benefits on your account when you play Blizzard games over there that you don't get at home. Next Level Gaming has an amazing PC setup for all of you who visit. It's an Intel i7 processor with an RTX 3090 graphics card, and they've got 2 monitor options for you, a 24-inch monitor at 240Hz and a 32-inch monitor at 144Hz. Be sure to use !NXT in chat to find out all you can about this amazing esports center. And thank you, Next Level Gaming, for joining us for HeroesCCL Season 4. But of course, we're not done just yet. We have got to talk about, well, something that you all love very much, something that you hold near and dear to your hearts. It's going to be HeroesCCL Fantasy. Because HeroesCCL Fantasy, it's back, of course. We've partnered with Ball Street to bring you cclmarkets.com. It's a free pick'em game that lets you choose HeroesCCL winners in real time as you watch the action. Simply buy shares of the team you think is going to win the matchup and sell shares of the team you think is going to lose. Best part? Best part is you can change your mind at any time. Nope, that's later in the show, my friend. You tried, you're so close. Buy and sell all match long to get a better score. Every night, the top traders on CCL Markets will win prizes, and you can compete all season long. Join cclmarkets.com to win prizes as you watch today's broadcast. Thank you, thank you, Ball Street, for partnering with us. Man, Justin, we almost had it. Maybe we'll get it later on in the weekend. But of course, let's go ahead, Justin, and take a look at these rosters, because we've got Granit Gaming over in the left.
I'm excited to get into it. We've got Granit Gaming, my dark horse, my chance for my power rankings to survive if they make the godlike run through the bracket, through the gauntlet. We have Azrite, the flex for the team, Breeze, the tank, a seasoned HGC veteran of the past, alongside Poik, one of the best tracers we've ever seen, best Lee-Mings, just a standout player, SMX on the support, Wubby, formerly the offlane and shot caller for Dignitas, so just a really impressive player. And Quacknix, the ranged flex sub, who I believe may be subbing in today. We'll have to find out when the match begins.
We'll definitely find out once we get into the lobbies in a little bit here. But of course, Grubby, who's on the side of Simplicity, because they have had quite the roster shakeup throughout the season.
Yes, for the better. They had been losing, and then suddenly, boom, Tiger JK. They started winning maps off the back of his Maiev. Watch out, Tiger JK's Maiev, Thrall, and more. Now, they're also endowed with Lupus. That sounds weird when I say it like that. With Slips, Porky, Wishing, and we hear that Porky isn't gonna make it for this match today. We will see the debut of the German offlane Casper. I know Casper from Storm League ladder as well. He's a fantastic hogger. Let's see how he avails himself today for Simplicity, who managed to win their first series when they got most of the parts of the roster you're looking at now. If there was ever a chance for Simplicity to pop off, ever a need, today's the day.
Today is the day indeed, and as I was looking at stats and getting ready for today, the big thing that I wonder from Granit Gaming is, will there be a target ban onto the Maiev, as we've seen in previous weekends? Because it was not in week 7, but I think it was in week 6. There was a couple Simplicity games that were starting to go their way until, I think it might have been Storm Esports, who started banning out the Maiev specifically, and that was kind of the critical factor for Simplicity in so many of those early games. So we'll see if Granit Gaming takes the approach to get rid of that Maiev, or if they're going to be, well, aggressive and be like, all right, you know what, we don't need to ban it, we've got all the skill we need. So it's going to be a very interesting once we get into the draft, and we can find out where we're going to for map number 1, because we have all that information set up for everyone at home. So let's go ahead and see what will be map number 1 in our first best of 5 of the day. It is going to be Granit Gaming taking us to Infernal Shrines. And if you're wondering how we got to Infernal for map number 1, don't worry at home, I got you covered. The home team, Granit Gaming, opting for map pick priority and banning out Alterac Pass, and Simplicity will be banning out Garden of Terrors. So, Justin, no Garden shenanigans, no no brawling over Alterac, which I think is a very well-balanced map, but we've got a lot of things still available in the map pool, but of course we're getting ready for Infernal Shrines.
And we've got a lot of fun maps available as well. We've still got Tomb, Towers, Battlefield, some of my favorite maps still available. The smaller maps where we get a lot more little skirmishes and fights. Infernal Shrines is just my favorite map, so I'm super excited that that's the first one that we're going to. All about the team fight, all about the controlling of the shrine, playing for the objective, and winning those 5v5s.
It is, it's a nice map where rotations, camp timings, it's, Grubby, I think it's a tried and true not esports map, but it's a tried and true competitive map.
Don't hold back, don't hold back, Bahamut. It's
Infernal
Shrines is dripping with esports.
It's just, I mean, it's spelled incorrectly and correctly. That has the dash sometimes. That's how much it's just dripping of esports. But I think Infernal Shrines and Battlefield, these are very good maps to start out a series on because you can test your enemy on macro, micro, and kind of everything in between all of that.
Yeah, team fight, macro, split push, everything is possible on Infernal Shrines. And the one thing that you definitely need is you need some ranged skeleton clear, really good ranged skeleton clear. We used to be looking at things like Gul'dan and Lunara, but these days we're seeing a lot of Hanzo, we see a little bit of Mephisto, and yeah, it's we see a little bit of Kerrigan sometimes still, but that used to be the shiz and not so much anymore. But yeah, Infernal Shrines drafts really can go almost any way. Don't see a lot of Vikings, don't see a lot of Abathur anymore. I remember when Abathur no healer comp was really popular on Infernal Shrines.
I remember some friends where they were actually running Abathur as the main healer on like Towers of Doom from time to time. So very, very interesting map. A lot of good drafts. As you were mentioning, Grubby, that artillery into the skeletal defenders. Chromie, Sergeant Hammers, Mephistos are all really, really good. Hanzo can be great with his explosive arrow. And when we look at tanking, Justin, there's so many strong tanks for a map like this. Stitches... Weirdly enough, like, a lot of people look at Stitches like, oh, he might hook a skeletal defender, but, like, we've seen a lot of really good Stitches on this map in the past, specifically this season as well.
Yeah, we have. I think the main reason for that is you're fighting around the shrine where everyone is kind of forced to be together in one kind of predictable area, whereas on a lot of the maps, you don't always know what angle people are coming from, where they're going to be, whereas on shrines, your whole team kind of has to come from one angle, so it kind of is the hunting for the fish in a barrel where there's just a bunch of people on one side of the fight and you just throw the hook out and hope that it lands. But it's definitely risky when there are things like Diablo, that aggressive, engagey tanks that are also just so strong on this map. I hope we see Diablo either picked or banned, because both these teams have played it really well, and this is probably his best map, and he's just he's been a scary hero lately. I wouldn't be surprised to see if the teams are just outright first banning the Diablo. But you talked about it before, and Tiger JK with the Maiev, that's also something that people are going to have to keep in mind against Simplicity.
This is also a map where we've seen a lot of double support compositions with an Uther as a main tank as well. We could see, I mean, in the past, we were talking about Abathurs in the past with Grubby, but there's also the Uther on a Kerrigan combo, as Grubby was mentioning Kerrigan as well. We could potentially see that come out. It's a bit of an old play, but no one's been utilizing it, so maybe we could see that aggressive playstyle, Grubby.
Yeah, and Kerrigan is very risky. She's squishy. She tries to combo generally not the tank. She can go for the tank, but she tries to go for someone else. And one thing I found more and more as recently I've been playing HoTS and trying to copy the CCL meta a bit in my picks is how good Thrall is. You compare Kerrigan to Thrall. Thrall is just so darn reliable. He helps fill in that tank killing gap, taking care of one of the most relevant picks in the higher echelons of play, Diablo. And you look at Kerrigan, and she doesn't really interact very favorably with something like a Diablo. So I think Thrall, Maiev are super, super valid second frontline DPS that aren't offlane per se. They can run in the 4-man. Kerrigan, I've been less and less confident to see her appear. But we've still seen her a little bit in another league recently.
She's popped up from time to time, but of course, Justin, we are through the bans and we are getting into our first couple of picks for Infernal Shrines. Is this the Diablo or maybe a Brightwing?
Lucio, Brightwing are both available with the Rhaegar banned out. So either Lucio, Brightwing, you have Diablo, you also have the Maiev for Simplicity, if they're willing to prioritize it this heavily.
True.
Sergeant Hammer is still available if either of these teams prioritize that, depending on whether they're comfortable with it. She still has a ridiculous win rate so far in this season of CCL. It is the Brightwing, so potentially giving over Lucio Diablo if they want it on the side of Granite.
Wow, that's quick. That's really quick.
What?
Okay, so Granite must have a strategy in mind. I'm expecting to see some kind of double support from Granite. Last time they did this, they also had a Sergeant Hammer. Last time they had the Tyrande, so we'll see if they're looking to go that route. They do have good setup for a double support comp right now, though, if that's what they're looking to run.
Now, the cool thing about Garrosh as well is he does not toss skeletal defenders. He can't target them in the shrine, so it's not like it's something like a Stitches where it gets in the way. And I'm looking at this last pick before I throw it back over to Grubby. This is a fun draft start here. What do you think? What are you thinking here, Grubby, as we're getting into the ban phase?
So we're seeing Casper on the hero that I know him best for, Hager. Let's see how far his comfort level extends to other heroes, but this is nothing but a good thing for simplicity. Lunara here, the second cleanser coming out, not just relying on Brightwing. I think this is a very clever choice because Garrosh, Tyrande are already having copious amounts of crowd control. You want to be able to remove those with Brightwing's Soothing Mist, and now Lunara's Abolish Magic level 13 talent. So whatever else is coming out, this is smart. Now keep in mind that Granit Gaming showed two very unusual picks early in the draft. You wouldn't do that unless you're pushing your opponent in a direction that you would feel comfortable with. And then having the second half of your draft being even more surprising and being okay what you expect to be the counter to what you showed.
So Tychus to be banned away. I believe Justing in the past, that's kind of a bit of an illusion or a show from a team to say, like, we kind of want to draft a Diablo.
It is, and it's also on Infernal Shrine surprising that Tychus even made the second ban phase. We do see the double support come out from Granite, so that's kind of was to some extent expected. I like seeing double support with Stukov. Tyrande does have many unique features with double support. She has the option to go with the attack damage buff at level 1 for the whole team, which is very good with Vala and even Stukov. She also has the option to take a basically no cooldown cleanse, where her heal will always cleanse at level 16, which is also very, very strong in double support. So Granit Gaming having a plan coming out. Kerrigan into it wouldn't be that scary if it weren't for the Diablo. We'll see if Granite's able to draft enough damage to actually deal with that Diablo.
We got one more pick coming out here. I'm actually going to throw it right back to Justin, because I know Grubby and I are going to be sitting and talking about this for quite some time in Infernal Shrines. Justin, thoughts on what we could see from both sides, or even this last pick?
So the last pick could be something very strange. Most likely it's just an offlane pick, like a Blaze or a Dahaka. It could even be another support, which sounds super weird, but even something like an Uther would be okay. It's a Sonya. So they're going for this is good. It is the offlaner, but it's also a type of hero that I'd kind of categorize as, I call them demons. That's just what I call them. They're like lifesteal based characters that basically, if they get ahead enough or they have enough sustain, they just stat check you and there's nothing you can really do about their damage, which Sonya is kind of the prime example of what I would consider as being like a demon. Like when they're enabled by these double supports, you can't kill them. They just become invincible. If they have enough damage that they can out heal your damage, and they have enough healing that they just can't die, they're just constantly putting out damage. So I actually really like the Granit Gaming composition. The Sonya gives them % damage at level 16 against the Diablo. Also, Kerrigan into double support is extremely rough, especially when you have Tyrande with the cleanses at 16. You'll have the attack damage buff most likely from the Tyrande at level 1, but any of her level 1s are kind of okay. Garrosh, if he chooses to, can go into the Decimate build, which at level 20 reduces the enemy's damage by a lot. So you kind of just win by having more numbers on the side of the double support for Granit Gaming. So Simplicity is going to have to be perfect with their combos, or they're going to lose the sustain fight to Granit Gaming's double support.
Well, we're into it. Justin, thank you for the analysis and the breakdown as we are getting ready. So let's go ahead and introduce our wonderful teams here. On the left-hand side, we have got Granit Gaming on the side of our, well, the heavens, if you will. Azurite on the Stukov, Quacknix on the Vala, Breeze on the Garrosh, Wubby on the Sonya, and Poik on the Tyrande. On the side of hell, I guess you could say. Lupus on the Diablo, Tiger JK on the Kerrigan, Wishing on the Brightwing, Casper on the Hager, and Lunar to be played by Slips, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't see it really quickly, but did anyone get hit by the Sentinel? I didn't think they did at the start.
If they were hit by it, that might be GG.
See, that's what I was literally just about to bring up. You never want to get hit by Sentinel at the start. That's usually GG if you do, but Reese tries to step forward. Now, Grubby,
they did not, by the way. They did not. Hero damage 0 for Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So it isn't GG just yet for
Not
Granite
yet.
Gaming, but I'm feeling, even though it is double support, I'm feeling Simplicity can make some really big plays right here. What are you thinking about these drafts, Grubby?
I find Kerrigan very hard to play into Garrosh and Stukov.
Okay.
I am feeling like Sonya was a very risky pick compared to Blaze. I expected Blaze and Fervala to carry the whole damage by herself, and maybe they felt like that's too low on the damage. Blaze would help to cleanse out Lunara's poison damage, to provide a bunker against the hard engage of Diablo, Ogre, and Kerrigan. Sonya, it's a lot riskier. Now, generally, we've been seeing a lot of leap Sonya. I think we have a situation here where it's going to be Wrath of the Berserker, so she can demon it up, to use Justin's terminology.
Yeah.
CC reduction against Polymorph, Impaling Blades, Shadow Charge, and whatnot. And then to help damage the front line as well, which is Kerrigan and Diablo for the most part. I could see Wrath going here. But it's not as meta, probably for good reason. But let's see how Whoopi does with it. So overall, I think Simplicity has the lead until level 15 with this composition. Okay. And I think 16 plus, Granite Gaming may have the lead. So I would imagine that if Granite Gaming can keep on even levels all the way. How did he get there? Wow, he was scouting, I guess, and then fell into a Diablo. But if Granite Gaming can stay on one level max deficit until level 16, so they reach 16 when Simplicity is 17, then I think Granite would win. But I think Simplicity has a chance to snowball it with a 3-level lead.
That's a very good point. And the Kerrigan with the Diablo aggression is something that I really like. Lunara, we could see leaping strikes. It might be Thornwood Vine just to play a little bit safer and poke from afar, getting those stacks up. I am looking at the Sonya build, and she isn't going to be going into Slam at 1, which is the standard I feel like we see with a lot of Sonyas nowadays. It's going to be that War Paint, which is the old tried and true at level 1, that demon formula. There we go. The demon formula working out. Now also, Justin can point this out in a week before as we have a little bit of a fight breaking out, so I'm going to hold this thought for a second here. Hogger goes for the bounce, but it doesn't work out. That's going to be a kill for Granite Gaming as Slips tries to apply some damage. Kerrigan comes in with a decent amount herself. Sonya spears into Tiger JK, and that's going to be Whoopi able to back away. The thing that Justin had mentioned about Sonya in a previous week, it was actually on Infernal Shrines, and I was like, oh, I like the Sonya. She can shrine by herself, she's got good damage, she can split soak, all that. And the one thing that she really struggled with was not having that secondary support, and so having the double support could be the answer for the Sonya. But Poik, not going to find an answer on that health bar for the next 15 seconds. So double kill so far to the side of Simplicity as our Shrine's up and available. Simplicity might be able to grab this Mortar Punisher for bottom lane.
Yeah, Hogger is the king of the shrines. He sets up his perfect infinity spin. You can go for 30 plus spins with this, perhaps even infinite, if you are very, very precise about it. And it's hard for opponents to step up, because his rage is building when he spins on enemies. I can kind of see that it's almost a perfect spin or a perfect spin. Yeah, this is going to go all the distance. So basically, Simplicity has this. Granite Gaming is here not to get skeletons, they want to get some kills. It's too late for them to just trade. They want to get some kills. They didn't get it yet, so I think it'll probably go to Simplicity.
Kerrigan, oh wow, another great bounce being set up by Hogger. That's not easy to do on such a fly moment as Tiger JK rotates in from the top lane. Breeze very low, gets knocked into the wall by the staggering blow of Casper. And that's another kill for the side of Simplicity. Whoopi does have that life funnel at level 7, but it's not that much HP, Whoopi. You're not going to be able to 1v4 and win through all this, especially when you're polymorphed and you turned into some sort of critter or creature.
Yeah, exactly. That put an end to the spinning. But we've seen a couple of times now for Granite Gaming that Breeze is somewhere way deep all by himself without his allies being able to help him. Garrosh is a hero that has no mobility, that has to play defense. Or if he's going to be offense, he'd better be damn sure that it's going to work out okay. And he's miscalculated a couple of times, and Simplicity has been very happy to punish him for it. Moments like these are all too familiar so far, where Breeze walks forward and tries to get, a couple of quest stacks for his level 1. I mean, I'm worried for him again.
Yeah. I mean, look at where he is, and if you look at the map, Vala's just now getting into bottom lane, Toronto's all the way to the left, Stukov was in mid, and Sonya's in top. Breeze is as something I've done in my own tanking and I'm trying to get better at, he's gapping his own team. Essentially, he's making room for Simplicity to just chase and run him down in some of these moments.
Yeah, this time they didn't take the bait, which they feared it might be, since Granit Gaming was sending extra people to help Breeze. But Breeze is constantly answering the question, you and who, you and what army? And he says, the one that's right here hiding behind me, even when it's just a bluff. So let's see if he can keep getting away with that.
Oh, that's going to be an initiation onto Vala. Kerrigan comes in as well, and all that was used was a shockwave. A singular shockwave to lock down that kill. No Lightning Breath, no Summon Ultralisk, no Thornwood Vines. Really, really good execution from the side of Simplicity is what I want to point out with that one.
Yeah, nice kills there. Simplicity's doing good. They're 5-1 in kills. They're now looking to build upon their advantage. Getting kills is cool. I remember way early in HoTS, with a team on Blackheart's Bay, quick match of course, there was no ranked yet, we got like 30 consecutive kills and 0 deaths, and we lost the game. And that's when I first learned that this game has so much comeback potential. Because it's not about how many kills you get, it's how you use the time when you have more alive players on the field, and how you use it to kill structures. That's what Simplicity wanted to do here. They started killing the structures, but they come in here, they do a Bruiser Camp invade. Wobby's doing a lot of damage on Lupus, but Lupus on the Diablo, he's still alive. Linkage JK is gonna get the Brightwing heal. Lupus is still low, they're focusing Diablo, but it's a perfect torture of hope. It's hope torture, constantly giving the feeling that yes, maybe Diablo will fall, maybe Slips will fall, maybe Kerrigan will fall. But it was just hope torture, and Granit Gaming, they hoped all the way to their own deathbed as Simplicity got the ace, the 5-man kill. They came for a fort, they heard it. But then, what did they hear in the distance? A Bruiser Camp being taken? Let's look at it again. Echoes from the past. We got the replay of this moment. Look at that, Diablo right before the camp was taken. They could have tried to let it go, but hey, you know, why should they? Granit Gaming has all of their ults available. Problem is, not everybody showed up here yet. Garrosh shows up late. Breeze comes here. He should have been the one on the point, but it was Sonya fighting by herself together with Vala that tried to stop the Diablo on the point. The rest is history. Meanwhile, in the present, not much better luck for Breeze. He's basically getting 5v1'd again as he tried to push them away with his flailing swipes, but it was all for naught.
I was watching live, of course, as the members of Granit were trying to not even deep flank, but they were just trying to chase down Hogger, who seemed split and alone. And as we came back live, people are wondering maybe how Breeze ended up where he was. It was just Hogger got a really good bounce. He positioned safely long enough, got a phase shift from Brightwing, and that was enough time for Lupus to come in, set up the kill, and that is going to be Stukov dead for the next few seconds, as Wubby will grab the camp in bottom lane, but this is top lane fort that's already fallen. We've got an Arcane Punisher, and I don't even think I'm wondering if the members of Simplicity hold at 39 at all, or if they just keep the foot down on the gas in this sense. Like, they just keep pressuring Granit and don't even alleviate at all.
Yeah, there's 3 things that Simplicity could do now in order to affect what you just mentioned, that 39 skeleton hold. Take their own Bruiser, stop the threat here in the south side, and take their own Khazra Impaler. And they're deciding, no, we're not going to spread ourselves thin like too little butter over too much bread. We are going to take the Bruiser Camp, we'll immediately take the Punisher, and rather than defending the little annoyances, the nuisances, a mosquito bite here and there, a cricket waking you up from your sleep during the camping, no, we'll ignore the Khazra Impaler, we're not going to take any secondary camps mid, we're going for broke. We're doing a hard push with 4 of us, Brightwing can port in anytime, Breeze, he's unstoppable, but he's not unkillable!
Oh, that's a kill on Garrosh, the 13th kill for the side of Simplicity, who have got this Arcane Punisher pushing in through top lane. Will confirm the keep, but now look at Lupus's positioning with the rest of the team. This looks like Simplicity, they want to go lethal, they want to go core, and they want to take map number 1 in the gauntlet.
Yeah, looks like Simplicity definitely can do it. Looking good.
Will they?
Well, they're set up for an attack. They were thinking, if we get another kill in the next 5 seconds, we will. If we get an overchase by Granit Gaming, we'll turn around and get a kill, and then maybe we can still go for core, but only if Wubby gets massively CC'd. Wrath, though, he got tossed away by Garrosh, yeah.
Big groundbreaker from Breeze, but where's any sort of counterplay? That's a Chrysalis from Tiger JK. We do have Diablo pushing around Sonya, who still has her Wrath up and available. You can see the glow on her swords, that little purple bar as well. Very low! Members of Granit. Slips, that's the turnaround moment, really wants to chase in, but a lot of armor on Garrosh is going to keep him safe.
That was some massive damage coming in there from Slips and from Hogger. Hogger has that level 16 easy throw dynamite talent, the Kablooey, 50% more damage. It does about 500 damage and a big slow as well. And Sonya chasing, got hit by that and by Lunara. Another fight here, talent down. Granit Gaming doesn't seem too bothered. They know how behind they are on the macro. They're trying to make a return fight, get any kills they can. Breeze got hunted down, Tyrande got slain. It's the turn for Quacknix. Everyone's dead except Azerite.
And tower shots might take down Tiger J. Okay, Wishing's got the blink heal, but there's catapults arriving through the top lane, which are going to be dealing significant damage. 380 damage into structures currently, but with the 4 members of Granit dead here, 11 minutes in or so, maybe about 12, this is going to be the core shielding starting to fall. Tyrande is back. It's Stukov and Poik to defend. We do have Garrosh here, but the core shielding is gone. Lupus is making some room as Diablo, looking to see what his lightning breath is at. We actually have a very low Brightwing to follow, Lunara to go down as well.
Catapults,
is this core attempt not working out?
They have to deal with the catapults. There's a lunar flare on the catapults. Diablo 6%, 5% on the core, 4%, 3%. They've done it. It's GG, right? All right. Well, that's a really nice defense. 3% core. They can try to go for the bottom. Try to open up win condition via bot. But I even have a big question mark. Can they even get the keep, let alone core? Core no. But keep? I don't think they can even get a keep.
I think they get keep front gate, and that's about it. I really do. Like, it's unfortunately, Wubby wants more and is stepping very far forward, tanking tower shots, which is reducing armor. They want to go keep, but here comes Brightwing. Lunara's back. Kerrigan in 1 second. This is going to be the keep down to about 50%. Hogger now responding as well. Lupus looking for the angle. Breeze too far forward is going to be able to back away. Polymorph on to Vala. Quacknix gets the vault away. Breeze gets the toss into Kerrigan, who pops the Chrysalis. We have a Lunar Flare from Tyrande, Lightning Breath from Diablo in response. 2 heroics utilized right there. And that's Breeze getting slowed right now. Slips and friends, they want to take this kill. I mean, 1 or 2 kills and Simplicity runs core. But on the opposing side, if Granit can get a good wipe here, they could be the ones who go core.
Breeze getting attacked. He does not have Unstoppables trying to run away. He does have double heal. He's got that armor trade. Wubby actually doing a lot of damage in the backline with that Whirlwind, where he has bonus healing for level 13, but he got armor debuff Polymorph. Actually, I think Wubby's going to sustain through it with this E-build. Wubby, if he stays alive, he will kill them all. Tiger JK goes down. That's 1. Quacknix chasing Wishing. Shockwave from Casper misses on Quacknix. He's going to go back on the chase. There's an interrupt from Stukov into Brightwing Z. That's the 2nd kill. Wubby, Whirlwind build! I've been trying to tell people this build sucks for so long. And he's using it to sustain here for so long, get several kills, and stay alive. Ah, everything I thought I knew.
Well, unfortunately, Granit can't continue to pressure bottom because top lane has got catapults arriving once again, and someone has to deal with it. Quacknix does Hearth back. We've got the objective up and available. Brightwing to go clear bottom lane. As I take a look, she does have the phase shift up and available as well. But Vala's showing in that top lane. I'm taking stock of the death timers, and it's still 7 seconds for Kerrigan. So it's not like the members of Simplicity could make an aggressive play with Vala at core.
Yeah, they can't. 2 people dead. Now there's 1 person still dead. Brightwing is defending bottom catapults. Now this Punisher does meet a gate. 1 tower. But this is the first step of the maybe comeback from Granit Gaming. They looked unenergetic in the first half, but now they've kind of been fired up. They had a couple of good fights. And remember, I just remembered actually, my prophecy.
Yeah?
If they can get to level 16 and above without more than a level 1 deficit, with just 1 level deficit max, Granit Gaming's composition gets better. Look at why. Celestial Attunement cleanses on Tyrande at level 16. We've got Nerves of Steel, the equivalent of Stone Skin for Sonya. We finally have Manticore. Vala can now finally kill Hager and Diablo, before not really. So these are really important. Then there's Super Strain from Stukov, where there's a big 633 health every single time someone gets stunned or rooted when they have a pathogen. There's a 39 here. This is done so that Granit Gaming can get level 20 before getting the objective. However, a quick pressure play by Simplicity to get the other 40 may make it difficult for Granit, where someone needs to sacrifice themselves to step up. No, they still didn't get it. They tried 2 spells. Stukov E. There was Stukov E, there was Tyrande E.
Shockwave.
No! Stukov is going in. He's got it. But this 39 play came at the cost of Tyrande. I think Simplicity just goes top core.
I think they're making that realization as well, and Breeze is now kind of anchoring and saying, okay, I may be around a third of my HP, dropping nearly down to, actually dropping down to about 50%, and the top lane for it is being pushed in. Oh, this is tense right now. No Tyrande for 35, Wrath of Berserker popped by the Sonya. Seems like Simplicity's just trying to wait out Wrath a little bit here.
Yeah, that's true. I think you're right. I think that's actually why they're slowing it down as well. Quite so, and they're waiting for someone to be out of position. That is a polymorph on
Lightning Breath.
Garrosh. Garrosh goes down. Why defend that far out? Why defend that far out when Wooby was just leaving? He wanted to try to get level 20. Tyrande's not back yet. This core has very little health. This core only has 6,000 health left.
Core is going to fall rapidly. Lupus is surely to live, actually, as that is going to be map number 1 in our first best of 5 of the day. Going over to the side of Simplicity.
Yeah, that core literally... GG, that core literally had less health than a Diablo. They presented a front defending in between core and keep Granit Gaming, but they were unable to keep that defense solid. Misunderstanding by Breeze and Wooby. Wooby trying to farm level 20 bot. I'm gonna probably disagree with that, but it's really hard to know what the comms were like. It must have been hectic. It must have been difficult. They weren't level 20. They needed it. The core was so low. And at the end of the day, it's Simplicity that stood there, made the right call, waited for the right opportunity, saw it, pulled the trigger, and won the game. Congrats. 1-0.
Congrats and Simplicity. They got one under their belt here, justing in the gauntlet. Only 2 more maps for Simplicity. They knock Granit out, and Simplicity will continue on up against Storm Esports later on today. But of course, it's still very early, and I know you got a lot of takeaways from that map number 1, Infernal Shrines.
So Simplicity looks really strong because I would say that Granit has a easier draft in the last game to play because all they need to do is survive and engage, and they should basically automatically win the sustained fight with their double support, with their Sonya and their Vala. This is kind of where everything started to go wrong for Granit Gaming. You have the 5-man invade onto the camp, with Wubby being the one alone on the point. Breeze super far away, and I think he actually may have not helped Wubby with the toss there. I think it was for the armor. You saw the level 7 from Breeze come out, which was a little bit weird, the Into the Fray, just to be able to throw Wubby in more. So Granit Gaming clearly having a plan in the game where they want to have an invincible Sonya that survives a burst combo and then just lives in the enemy backline, basically invincibly. But it wasn't really quite enough damage, and Simplicity just way too on point with their combos, with their chain CC. Granit Gaming needed to play a little bit safer until 16, because that's when they get their cleanse, that's when they get their super strain. But Simplicity just non-stop aggression. It was very close on the core with a 3% core, where this was a near throw attempt by Simplicity, getting it to 3% so close. They almost put themselves in a situation where they could lose the game off of this, because they have Granit Gaming able to get a bot push. A really good defense, though, by Granit Gaming, so the series definitely looks like it's going to be a bit of a long one. Both the teams seem very, very evenly matched, but I'm a bit concerned for Granit Gaming since they did have arguably the easier draft to play. This was the one mistake Simplicity made in the whole game, realistically, is overextending here while defending. All Simplicity should need to do, all they should be calling to do, is just to play to defend their base. And that's all they need to do in this situation. As long as they don't lose too many members here, they can't really lose the game with a 3% core. They can just play the macro smart. So Simplicity showing that, while their team fight is very, very good, I'm concerned for them if they fall behind, as their macro might be, or just their general decision-making from behind in that situation after, failing to get the core down might have kind of impacted their mentals a little bit at the end there. So Simplicity not invincible by any means, but Granit Gaming also has some things to work on if they want to be able to take this series, but both the teams seem relatively close.
Things are extremely close in the later moments of that game. The early game looking dominant from the side of Simplicity, as we can find out where we're going to for map number 2 in this first best of 5 of the day for our ladder bracket playoff. We have got Granit Gaming taking us to the map of Battlefield of Eternity. That means that Granit, the team that lost, opted for map pick prior to giving first pick over to Simplicity. Grubby, I mean, we talked about it earlier. Battlefield, another fantastic map to kind of kick off this best of 5. Really, really good back and forth. I'd say a little bit more on the micro heavy side, but there is still some decent macro decisions to make on camp timings, lane pushing, etc.
Yeah, I think the camp timings are mostly quite figured out in terms of if people aren't invading each other. Khazras are a small bonus. Bruiser, you put them onto the field 12 seconds before the objective actually takes off. But the really big one is always vision play. There are so many bushes in the center of the map where you can try to trap the opponent, and there's some interesting creative ones where you can try to trap the opponent as well. Then there's all the heroes with displacement that can be used to defend your immortal against the opponent's attacks. If you're using ETC, Garrosh, Junkrat, Maiev, you can pull people into boss stuns and you can make it feel like it's a 6 versus 5.
Well, we're getting the readies out for the teams, and we could see what the, we will see what the drafts are going to look like here in just a few seconds. I'm really, really excited about this one, Justin, as we are just about to get into this. Taking stock of the last map, it's kind of hard for me to look at the draft from the last game and be like, ooh, what does Granit ban out? I mean, like, the Diablo was very, very good, but I don't think you ban out the Kerrigan or anything, do you?
No, I think it's more about what does Granit pick with their early rotation of picks. They took the Garrosh and the Tyrande in the last game, and neither of those are going to be priority picks for pretty much any of the teams, maybe besides Granit. Okay. So I think just the order of the picks, if they had the same composition on the side of Granit in the last game, but they had a Diablo, their composition is just better than it was. The Diablo became a huge problem at level 16 with the debilitating flames against the double support comp. It was very difficult for them to actually get kills post 16 or when Simplicity had it. So the Diablo immediately banned away. I think that's a lot better if Granit is going to be playing this type of style. Diablo's very, very tanky into double support. So we'll see if Granit continues to play the same style. I wouldn't be totally surprised to do that once teams begin experimenting with double support and playing with it. There's kind of no turning back if it clicks for you. I think double support is mostly the best way to play the game, as long as there's no Mephistos involved. So we'll see if Granit Gaming is sticking with that.
You think everyone should be doing it more than they are?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Uther should be first picked or banned pretty much every single game for double support. Like, I think it's the most broken thing in the game. Mephisto's the only thing that actually counters double support just as one pick. You have to pick a lot of things otherwise to kind of try to play around the double support, like displacement or things like Void Prison, stuff like that, to isolate people. But it's very difficult if you have a functional double support comp that has armor and damage reduction. It's very, very hard to play into if it's played properly.
I like the Li Ming start here. It doesn't show anything of the draft. She's well-rounded for the map. If the enemy does consider it a new Barak, you can use the Disintegrate to get rid of the Cocoon very easily. But a Tyrael Ana here, Grubby. This is kind of exciting.
Yeah, very unusual. Again, opening by Granit Gaming. Ana perhaps a deny pick into Li Ming so that there's no Ana Li Ming. It is hard to heal Tyrael. He kind of has a small hitbox, so that can be a little challenging. Might again be a double support setup for Granit Gaming. Maybe kind of going with Justin's idea for what the meta could or should look like. Tyrael into Li Ming, just what we can judge right now is that he is quite fast, so he's better at dodging skill shots. But he's also quite squishy, so if he does get polymorphed and stunned, he's going to be one of the tanks that goes down most easily into something like a Li Ming.
Yes, I'm glad you used his heroic to define Tyrael in there as well. That was a nice little slip in there, Grubby. It was perfect,
Heroic?
Perfectly played by you. Yeah, you
What do
said
you mean?
judgment. Tyrael's judgment Tyrael.
Unintentional.
You completely. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Anyways, I thought it was intentional. I was like, man, that was good, Grubby. It was so smooth. But Hanzo and Chromie will be banned away. We will see this Raynor. One more pick coming out from Granit. What are you thinking here, Justin?
This is definitely a little bit strange coming out on the side of Granit Gaming. I'm not sure if they'll still be going with the double support. Their comp could have a last pick Uther, and it would be very functional. I think if you were worried about double support from Simplicity, not banning the Uther there in the second rotation, I think is a big mistake. Ana needs a lot of protection, and Uther is one of the few heroes that can actually provide that point and click. You've got the D shield to be able to protect it, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that from Granit Gaming as their last pick, especially into this pick-heavy composition from Simplicity. And last game, Granit's second rotation banned the Cassia, so they definitely are not going to be happy with Simplicity picking this up in their last pick. Gul'dan for last pick for Granit Gaming, so just completely different. None of these picks, with the exception of Hogger and to some extent Tyrael, are really meta picks into Simplicity's composition, where you have a really scary poke comp on Battlefield, a really heavy pick composition with the Blaze CC, the Brightwing CC, Muradin, with a Li Ming to follow up. It's very, very scary what Simplicity has drafted right now. Granit Gaming's composition, they might be doing some form of like Juice Pirates or something, where you just, I mean, with what they've drafted, it's very strange.
I'm with you.
They have like what we played in the one thing. They have the Gul'dan who could potentially go meatballs with the Hyperion if they want, if they're going full run it down builds, which is possible. Yeah, they actually
Nano the Rain of Destruction.
Yeah, they actually might be just doing some cheese like this. I'm not sure. We'll see if it actually plays out that way. Granit does have a potential composition to just sort of show up and siege your buildings, but the meta comp just looks very, very strong for Simplicity, and they were on point with their CC in the last game, so I'm expecting Simplicity to take this, unless Granit Gaming has some crazy tricks up their sleeves.
Justin, I'm so glad you talked about it, because that way I'm validated in my own thoughts, because I was like, man, the Gul'dan with Nano, that's perfect. It's a brilliant idea. Rain of Destruction gets like decent siege, and then you Nano it, that's even more siege. So we'll see what Granit Gaming is able to do here on the left-hand side with Wubby on the Hogger, Poik on the Gul'dan, Breeze on the Tyrael, Raynor played by Quacknix, and Azerite on the Ana. Over on the side of Simplicity, we have got Lupus on the Muradin, Slips on the Cassia, Wishing on the Brightwing, Casper on the Blaze, and Tiger JK to play the Li Ming. So, Grubby, Rain of Destruction, Nano Boost Gul'dan. Obviously, it's not going to win, and Simplicity will, but what are your thoughts here on the drafts?
Well, I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming of a future where Gul'dan goes for the double spell power talent that he has at level 7 and 20, Darkness Within and Hungry for More or whatever, I think it's called at level 7. Okay, that's 40% spell power, 80% after you add Nano, and then Holy Arena Tyrael. Holy Arena from Tyrael is 25% extra damage. I don't know if it's calculated as a 1.25 multiplier on any damage, or if it's calculated as a basic attack damage and spell power increase. Depending on how it's coded, if it's the former, then you would have the Rain of Destruction from Poik do 225% damage. But if it's calculated in the latter manner, then it would only be 205%. Either way, it would do more than double damage with those 4 buffs. So we could have a huge, I mean, we're talking enormous, Rain of Destruction coming through. And the first blood! Raynor filled Li Ming full of holes with his Gauss rifle. Now Slips is low as well. He gets away with his 30 armor, with Wishing's help. This is Granit Gaming stomping on Simplicity. Quite unexpected. I mean, I saw the draft coming out, and it's unusual, and I'm hoping that they got a really cool plan with that, and we're dreaming of the future. But meanwhile, in the present, they've taken out 2 towers, and they won a 4v5 with Blaze rotating here? That's insane.
During this bottom lane, it's actually, at the start here, it was Hogger going up against Blaze Cassie in the top lane, so it was a 3-member defense from Simplicity, and Poik throwing in these constant Fell Flames is really good siege. So as we're looking in the top lane, this is Hogger starting to get some value into the Simplicity side. Hogger on his side of the map did lose a little bit, but I mean, even then, you pointed out, Grubby, still the 4v5 going in favor for Granit Gaming. That's a big win with Quacknix with the penetrating round to get the kill onto Li Ming, as we do have a slight experience advantage to the members of Granit Gaming. But we'll see how all of that shapes up. Our first Immortal phase announced right now, north and south position, as it is the standard start for this first phase, or this first Immortal.
Yeah, first Immortal coming out, 13 seconds on the clock when they're taking the Bruiser camp. This allows them to quickly deal with the Khazra Impaler. Tyrael's gonna run into a Muradin, but you know, he's safe, he's fine. Sleep Dart on Muradin. Now, will they push out bottom lane and just go for the tower, ignoring the Immortal? Or is Granit Gaming gonna get in position to start the race as quickly as possible? And it looks like it's the latter option. Raynor already starting on that Immortal. Now, some of you may say, hey, that's not Exterminator Raynor. He doesn't have 125% bonus burst damage on his critical attacks is give him some pepper attacks on PvE. And this is true, but he's got Ace in the Hole. And Ace in the Hole makes Hyperion and the auto attacks and penetrating round deal more damage to slowed targets. Tyrael can slow, Raynor can slow, and Ana can slow with the Sleep Dart build. So if this is actually Reign of Destruction Hyperion, that would be a really cool way to play this, where you just have lots of AoE damage coming through. And we don't know if it's going to be that. It could just be the generally better Banshee and Horrify combo. But still, Ace in the Hole is a choice into a team fight.
Banshee would be also very good for the race potential, as Wubby, Breeze, and Quacknix finish out the first half of the Immortal phase. A little bit of damage from Simplicity goes on to Alarian in the race. Now, how does Simplicity play this? Do they go for the shielding? No, they go for the aggressive play here. There's the polymorph on Tyrael. Breeze does get across with his Eldruin's Might. Lupus doesn't land the Stormbolt, as the Immortal will throw out some stuns and the AoE protection. No camps in the lanes to defend. Excuse me, no camps in lane to push out, so no defense necessary. Quacknix gets chunked by Tiger JK. Lupus lands the Stormbolt. There's another combo. Slips in with the Fen from Cassia. Lupus very low, doesn't get the phase shift in time from Brightwing. Hogger spins out. It's a 1-for-1, seemingly better for the side of Granite Gaming because they still have their tank to chase in.
Yeah, Poik is getting some massive damage as well. That's a huge Corruption Sleep Dart combination. Azerite and Poik kind of owning from the backline. Wooby and Breeze did great on the front line. They're getting a 13,000 HP Immortal victory here, which is going to give them something like an 11,000 point shield on the Immortal that's going to be spawning in the battlefield. It's going to probably have about 20,000 HP. I'll update you on that as we see it land in the lane. I think it's going to be about 20k. So Granite Gaming taking the lead, and I'm looking at it now, and it is 23,000, almost 24,000 HP.
So sorry, Grubby. You're gonna have to give your caster headset in, unfortunately, because you got that stat wrong.
Yeah,
but
800
Lupus is... Oh, that was a great Biotic Grenade onto Lupus. If anyone was wondering where any of the phase shift healing came through, it didn't, because Biotic Grenade reduces healing by 100%, and the phase shift, it's a 2-second wind up and everything, so as long as Ana's watching for that, they can counteract some phase shift value. Breeze does go down. Wishing should be traded. That's going to be 20% off the death timer. That's why Tyrael's death timer is at 10 and Brightwing's is at 16, even though she died before, but that's a lot of damage in the trade into Hogger for the Cassia. But this is a first Immortal getting keep front gate. This is extremely uncommon.
Extremely uncommon and favorable for Granite Gaming. Wooby made an inch. Oh, nice penetrating round, but not before getting stunned. I was not aware of that interaction. I think Quacknix is probably dead. That's Pyromania, that's Li Ming shots. But still, like you said, they're even getting 10% keep damage. This is a really, really good result for Granite Gaming.
Yeah. As that is really, really big to be able to get that much value from the first Immortal as 10's approach too, because now look at Granite's positioning. They'll be able to grab 10 from bottom and probably the camp, and then we should, per the expectations, see the Reign of Destruction and all that kind of stuff into bottom lane to open up the map further, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. It's nothing of what we... Oh, wait, we got it!
Yes!
We got one of them. We got one of three.
Nano boost.
No Nano, no Hyperion. Little on the different page here, I think.
Still cool though. Reign of Destruction, Banshee, and Eye of Horus. So we do have 2 AoE damages, but it's Gul'dan and Ana reprising that. Oh, good lord, Tyrael!
Yeah, he kind of got 1-2 punched right there real quick from Simplicity, who are not too happy about the start of this game. It is 4-5 in our levels, 10 apiece in the, or excuse me, 4-5 in kills, 10 apiece in the levels, as we are having our next Immortal announced pretty soon, actually, and we'll have some damage onto the bottom lane fort front gate from Slips and friends.
Yeah, they're looking to do a little bit of structural damage back, taking down some of those towers. Granite Gaming is going to not want to overstep here, but Tiger JK constantly shooting with extreme impunity on that tower. It's going to port for mana. Actually, a small chance for him to get interrupted if they see him, but they did not.
It felt like a little bit of a bait. I know that the Cassian plays were going to the camp, but Murden was still kind of floating around, so or at least he was sitting in the bush waiting to see if anyone would step into Tiger JK. See, it could have been a bait. Who knows? We have the Immortal phase. We're ready to go. Let's find out what happens in our second Immortal of the game. We've got camp pressure and bottom and top from both teams, respectively.
And Granite Gaming is choosing to both support their camp and go for the fort and defend their own Immortal. That's their play. This Hortipult kind of missed the mark. Sanctification is going to save him as he spins out. That's a Rain of Destruction that's partially hitting fort. The Eye of killing Muradin! Ana kills Muradin from across the map.
Sniped with that, but look at Tiger JK in the backline. Tiger JK wants to make a counterplay happen onto Quacknix. It's not working out. Top lane Fort is going to be taking some damage from the camp in the lane as I thought the Rain of Destruction was a little too far to the left, but it was actually perfectly played because I got a lot of good poke damage down on Muradin, and then Eye of Horus got the last few shots.
Pretty cool. In the meantime, though, this was not without cost. Bruiser Camp took down 75% of the life of top Fort. This is what Granite Gaming gave up. They're trying to protect it now. It's going to actually go down to the low 10% or so. Meanwhile, Poik is maybe going to get caught. The grenade and the healing dart actually missed. So a little bit less healing, but he's got the Drain Life build, and he is being nursed back to full health. Simplicity didn't send a single person yet to go race. They came in force, didn't get a kill, so unfortunate for them, but good for Granite Gaming.
We do have the fight breaking out around the Simplicity Immortal, as that race does come through. Got about 4,000 difference, little less than 4,000 difference between the two teams. A Hogger kill is attempted, but he gets the spin away and is not going to be bothered by that. Now, Immortals go to defensive sides. Blue on the left, red on the right, and so it's easier for teams to defend. As Simplicity gets a couple pokes in, they actually dropped down that Immortal by like 3,000 HP, so that was really good damage, but what can Granite Gaming do?
Well, they can pick Dark Bargain on Gul'dan, 40% bonus health, but a 10-second higher respawn time. He now has 4,000 health, almost as much as Muradin. There's a Rain of Destruction. He's going to help finish things off. Hogger is getting all in, though. Eye of Horus trying to keep him alive. He spins away. Sanctification as well. He is still alive. Oh, no!
Sniped by the Immortal. 600 HP on the Immortal. Gul'dan will finish that out, but Ana will go down. Can Casper and crew find a kill onto Poik and punish him for stepping up like this? The Fort is still alive. He's got a retreat path. Casper trying to throw the slow, looking for the angle, jet propulsion, and that's another kill. Stagger death onto Gul'dan as Tiger JK wants to grab the Fort through top, but now the ports need to happen. Everyone's got a Hearth back and defend against the Alarian. In bottom lane, dealing 690 standard damage, 1,380 into structures.
28,000 health, counting with shields as well. Gul'dan dead for 10 seconds longer than he otherwise would be because he struck a Dark Bargain. So it's going to take him a little bit longer. He would have been back now. So yeah, Granite Gaming couldn't step up either way, so it doesn't make a big difference.
Breeze will be able to teleport back with this Alduran's Might. I thought he was looking for an aggressive play as the Banshee will get some extra little siege here, but it seems like Quacknix will back away with Hogger soaking up in the top lane. Now, Immortal, I was wondering if they were going to leave the keep to take care of most of the Immortal and try and make a quick rotation to top. Not the case. Simplicity wants to make sure they save as much HP on the keep as possible as Li Ming rotates through the wave. This is very telegraphed in the rotation to this camp.
Yeah. Breeze went for Holy Ground. He gets polymorphed. Can he dodge the Stormbolt? No, because it was prepped with Skullcracker. Breeze trying to get away, but he keeps getting Skullcracked. Very annoying for him, and his Sanctification was actually interrupted. He shaves off 4 seconds of his death time with that explosion, but that's a chain kill. Meanwhile, though, Hogger doing pretty good in the top lane. Now it's going to be all about Simplicity, trying to get the bottom fort, which is still very strong. They are without their tank.
Slips poking up. Lupus over here as well. And see that glow on his hammer as he's on the mount. That shows that he's got that level 10 value. Obviously, you can see it at the top of the screen, but just little visual things in the game are always kind of fun to point out. Much like Zul'jin, he's actually got 2 different visual indicators for when he finishes the 2 separate portions of his quest. The baseline, you want Axe. But either way, 16s are near for both teams, and the fort being poked at through bottom lane.
Yoink! Bruiser Camp stolen. I thought this only happens in Storm League. Blaze.
Nice play from Hogger.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice deny. Now they don't have to worry about that during the Immortal at any phase. It's not going to push, but it's a deny. Now they can get their own. That's actually really good. And one may wonder if Casper should have checked it. He was alone. He didn't see Hogger rotate to bottom for so long. But yeah, he just wanted to push out top. They want the Hogger.
Oh, no! The Stormbolt interrupted the Hortipult. Wow. I haven't seen it because that animation looks so weird. But either way, that is Hogger going down. Rain of Destruction. Rainer is going to get the Sanctification just in time, but is it going to be enough? There was a bop onto Casper, who's still chasing out. That's a wave of force and a reset for Li Ming as the camp in bottom lane just enters the lane. Objective phase is here. Tiger JK and Slips to go and grab the first half of this. My assumption... Ooh, I like Blaze and Murden and Brightwing on the left-hand side. They're actually defending the poke from Gul'dan Tyriana.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Really nice catch by Simplicity there, getting Hogger with the Stormbolt and then getting Rainer as well. A couple of ults were burned by Granit Gaming, so Granit Gaming had a really good macro setup. They just needed to hold fast for a little bit longer. But Simplicity, they made sure that they created the space. They took control of their own destiny. They created the space to deal with Bruiser Camp on their own terms. Now we're actually getting to the nitty-gritty, because whoever wins this next Immortal phase is going to be extremely far ahead in the map, in the game in general. Talents and levels very equal now. Granted, still with the lead in structure, so they're actually still leading in general. Without Sanct, they're going to have to form a 20-second defense of their own Immortal without getting poked down, and then push it all the way back to the other side. How can they get a kill? It's all down to Wubby, I feel like. Portapult in, try to get a combo on somebody.
Wait. Oh, there's a sleep dart onto Murden. That might be the green light. Lupus able to back away. It seemed like Granite wanted to make a play onto Murden, or just really whoever is going to get hit with that sleep dart as Casper looks for a flank, lands it onto Poik, who's going to be Dwarf tossed onto, but no follow-up from the Murden. Wubby actually Hortipult's in right now, creating a lot of trash on the ground. I agree with you on that one, Grubby.
The Hortipult's in, gets stunned by the Immortal again. Stunned nobody in particular, and it was also out of sync with the rest of his team. Very unfortunate. Not sure how the comms were sounding, what was called exactly. Maybe it's a team decision. They're going for Poik now. He takes a lot of damage. He had a bit of armor.
Tiger JK's flank is beautiful. Tiger JK finding these angles on the Li Ming. I mean, wow. Wow, the Tiger JK is really doing great for the job. Great work for the team, but I also want to point out Slips as well. Slips has been, I think, target banned in the last two games. I don't remember in map number 1 if there was a Hanzo ban. I know there was in this one. And Slips played a beautiful Hanzo a couple weeks ago in week number 7. So Slips is just really showcasing that he can play more than just that Hanzo really well. This has been great execution from Slips so far on the Cassie as well.
Yeah, I like what Gul'dan has been doing as well for Granite Gaming. We don't see this mage a whole lot anymore, but it feels like Poik has been doing quite okay on it. It's just the difficulty of engaging for Granite Gaming. The real Hogger are not your ideal engagers. Sanct has a delay and a wind-up. Everything Hogger does has a wind-up. So it's really hard to do like a triggered attack with exactly the right timing. So it's very much a waiting game, and Granite Gaming lost their patience. Simplicity now looking to push in. That was a really smart jump in over the wall, but Rainer turned on his armor trait. Nice protection. And this bunker, is it a death trap? Sanct on top of the bunker, maybe a little bit too early. Murden jumps out though. And Li Ming jumps out too. Oh, drained!
I saw Tiger JK's health bar just as he got into the bunker. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you make it out of this one. He got the blink, and I got so excited for him, but this is going to be the end of the siege. The keep goes down. We get some damage onto the core as well. I'm trying to look really quickly. Belith was dealing 830 standard damage, double that into structures, around 1,660 damage for him. And we've got about, what, 24% off the core on the Granite Gaming side. Things are looking good for Simplicity, but it's not GG for either team just yet.
Is Granite Gaming really doing this? A pre-20 engage? They are. They're spinning in. It's 5 versus 4. Yeah, why not? It's 5 versus 4. Holy Ground not quite on the point. There's a Rain of Destruction. Quacknix meleeing Muradin. Penetrating round misses. Everyone gets away. Casper trying to run.
Casper on the left side of our minimap is trying to get away. I think he's mounted. I don't know if he got dismount. He did. Okay, so he throws out the oil, gets the dismount onto the enemy. Now, does he have a jet propulsion? I'm going to look really quickly. He does. He burns that. We do have a sleep dart going out. Not sure if it connected as the map, as we're moving down the map. Casper's trying. He drops the bunker. This is going to be a staggered death. But Wubby, why?
Why Wubby? There was already Holy Ground there. Why did you?
I mean, it's a 60-second cooldown. I understand it's not that big of a deal, but it's just why? Like, I don't think it was necessary. It was just like the excitement of the kill.
I've done that before. I did that just yesterday. Shockwaving into someone that was already dead. Yeah. It's, It happens.
But that's different, Grubby. You're asserting dominance.
Yeah, I think he was too. But did you see the pings on top of him? They were kind of ribbing him for that one.
There's been a lot of pings on Wubby throughout the series so far today, but now we're 20 apiece. Blaze dead for 25. Keep that in mind. Lupus and everyone is trying to back away. Lupus, I'm checking, does have the Dwarf Toss. He's got the launch at level 16, and he's got his rewind. It's off cooldown. Sleep Dart avoided.
Okay. Quick defense by Hoggard. That's going to take him about, I want to say 15 seconds, so until the 19-minute mark. Meanwhile, Simplicity is going to be able to start poking very happily. Raynor racing with Banshee. Gul'dan is racing as well. Now, Gul'dan has 16 talent. Yep, he's got the spell power. He's even gone for Deep Impact. Not going for the Demonic Circle teleportation, split push extraordinaire build, or to keep himself safe. No, Deep Impact. 90% half-second slow per impact. That's interesting. Let's see if that's going to be relevant.
I'll be honest, I've died to this. Like, you get hit by that 90% slow and you're like, wait, what?
Oh no,
anyways,
Grubby!
that's the Deep Impact coming out, but it's not going to be... He gets...
Oh, he got the Sanct! He got the Sanct, but then he already pressed no control.
Fine.
He's going to be safe, though.
Is trying to avoid the snipes from Ana, which I believe the Eye of Horus is over. And she did go into the level 20 upgrade, but, okay, okay, cool, Tyrael, this does get you the objective phase for your team.
But they already had it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna let them heal. I'm gonna make them kill me before they heal. And then Simplicity was like, okay, we'll be 5 seconds later.
Well, we don't have Deep Impact or the Random Destruction for 28 seconds. Tiger JK and the rest of Simplicity are looking to defend this in lane, not by their keep, which I do like this call quite a bit. Actually, this is just a chase for a kill. They're like, we don't... Ooh, great. Really good repulsion from Li Ming. They just assumed Poink was dead and started chasing Quacknix.
And Quacknix should have assumed the same thing. But he does get away. That's a 75-second death timer for Gul'dan. Meanwhile, the Immortal is going to get the keep.
Yep.
But this aggressive attack ensures that Granite Gaming doesn't go core with it.
I was wondering, because it was just like, I kind of felt like Simplicity could have just defended it in lane and cleared this out. But yeah, you make a very good point with that. Absolutely, Grubby. It's just that Granite Gaming could have pushed with Immortal still and may have found something. But either way, it is going to be the keep in bottom lane going down. On the map, when we take stock of the entire map, it's equal. Not comparing the core structures, but the actual structures in lane. The one thing that isn't very comparable is the 7 to 17 kill difference. Great snipe onto Brightwing.
8 to 17 now. Yeah, that was really.
But it's still 4v4.
Right.
Still 4v4.
All the XP Granite Gaming got was from minions and early structure kills.
That's all lightning canceled out. Eye of Horus used by the Ana as well. Breeze is going to be... Okay, there's no heavy impact from Lupus, who is going to land the Stormbolt onto Hogger, but the spin will cleanse that away. A good hold from the side of Simplicity. A good play from Granite Gaming.
Granite Gaming got the Brightwing kill. 35 seconds left when they made the decision to disengage from the fight and go bottom camp. They could have done other things. They could have pretended to go bottom and instead go for the Bruiser camp and have a 5 versus 4. They are going to the Bruiser camp now, and it's actually being taken laughably slow. Wait. Oh, no, there's no sanctification. I don't know why they're stepping up here.
They're going to push their buttons on the core.
Why?
They're doing the thing.
Why?
I don't know, but that's just what I see right now in front of me. Big repulsion onto Quacknix and Azurite. Jet propulsion from Casper connects. Tiger JK looking for the angles here as volleyball is being played by the Granite Gaming members, and that's Cassia nearly getting her ball lightning back up as she does have the infinite from level 20. 15 seconds left on that one. Brightwing's in the mix as well. Full 4v4 as the camp in top lane is pushing up. Gul'dan checking the bush. Tension between both these teams has arrived.
This is... So they've created space. Actually, yeah, no. Granite Gaming has not created space. They have forced themselves to defend the Bruiser a little bit late, but they're not actually getting punished all that much for it because Simplicity came to defend their own Immortal. So now it's to the point where it's even again in map pressure for the most part, and Granite Gaming decides to build up map pressure while ignoring the Bruiser camp that was pushing against them. in lieu of attacking the Immortal, defending the Immortal, it's an interesting choice, but it may pay off in about a minute from now. There's always many ways to play the game, and now they're going to have a Bruiser camp going to core.
Tiger JK looking for the combo on this Li Ming. Doesn't land it, as we did have a Wubby. There's going to be a jump into the backline with the Hortapult. We have a Rain of Destruction. We've got the Sanctification seemingly way too early there. Bunker does come down for Blaze, but that also does give armor to the allies. Lupus in the Avatar is going to try and land a Stormbolt. This Avatar will expire quite soon, if I'm not mistaken. I'm also looking to see, does he have Rewind? Yes, he does.
So that was a Holy Arena Rain of Destruction, but it wasn't really justified to use Sanct that early, it seems. Holy Ground is proving to be super effective, actually. It's doing a lot of zoning. I like this choice a lot. Breeze is good at dodging this game as well. They're going to lose a keep. This was a choice that they made a minute ago, that by not defending Bruiser, eventually they'll lose the keep. They made that choice. They did manage to defend their own blue Immortal for a while getting some red damage in. Now they're seeing Blaze at home. This may allow Granite Gaming to step up and start attacking the Immortal.
Tiger looking for just a combo into the bush, seeing if they can land that big damage onto Poik right now. Still 8-17 in kills as the first half of the Immortal. What's it going to be looking like for these two teams? Wow, it's really close, Grubby. It's like 100 and something difference.
Yeah,
163?
Yeah, something like that. Dead even, pretty much. Tyrael takes a lot of damage. There's another Hortapult in. They're not really working out. It's really good splitting by Simplicity when they see Hogger coming in. They're not allowing the follow-up attacks. Now Breeze does have Holy Ground. He has Holy Ground, right? He's gonna use it. Right wing. No control into towers. No, Wubby. Never no control next to towers.
Tiger is taking a lot of damage from the Banshee. Sanctification, this feels more of a panic tool to build some room for Raynor, Gul'dan, and Ana to back away. Breeze is just trying to sacrifice himself. Now, will he get some value? The insta-mount, he does get, okay, he gets a little bit of cooldown on his death timer right there, but now Lupus is still chasing in, has the Dwarf Toss, lands, and that's a great jet propulsion from Casper to set up the kill onto that Raynor. Poik getting looked at. Casper looking to see, there's the jet propulsion, Stormbolt from Lupus. He misses it right there, but I think they still get the kill. Realistically, you rush top, you go core, you end game right here, and you take map number 2 in the gauntlet bracket on the side of Simplicity. And Simplicity, they want this matchup up against Storm Esports.
Yeah, and Granite Gaming, it looked like they had chances sometimes, but an 8-21 takedown record leaves little question about what might have happened this game. Sometimes it felt like Granite Gaming were close, but the team fights all went in the direction of Simplicity, and they nab a deserved victory, if a little more difficult than you may assume from those takedown records.
Oh yeah, it was a fun map. Like we got to see some cool talents, we got to see some cool moments. Granite Gaming showing signs of life, but unfortunately Simplicity kind of figuring out how to answer any questions posed by Granite Gaming. But now, as we get Justing back into the mix, I pose one specific question to you, Justing, and is how is Springy?
Oh, she's doing great. She's sitting on top of my computer tower, so she's nice and warm. She's doing the thing where she does a loaf of bread cosplay, where she's got her little paws and all tucked underneath, and you just see she looks like a little submarine. So that's how Springy's doing. She's doing great. She's warm. She's warming up my PC for me. Appreciate that.
Good.
Although
I guess we can talk about the game, maybe.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Granite Gaming maybe not doing quite as well as Springy, not having as chill of a day so far. Down 0-2 in the series. Simplicity winning pretty much every fight, but you wouldn't. In the middle of the game, you wouldn't expect the structures to be the way that they are. We finished the game 8-21 in kills, but there was a point where it was 4-5 in kills, and Granite Gaming had the 4 kills to the 5, and they were up an entire fort and a half. So there's kind of an ongoing trend of Granite Gaming playing just these really like cool, smart macro decisions, these really weird aggressive plays that no other team is really doing things like where they had the pick in bot lane against the Brightwing, just completely unexpected. The Raynor already just waiting in that brush almost 30 seconds, just waiting for the Brightwing to show up. There's a lot of these cool plays by Granite Gaming, but then they're offset by these really small micro mistakes in the team fights where you have moments, I mean, this is a good moment for Granite Gaming in the team fights, but most of them were not that. Most of them you have these small little tiny lapses within a team fight of a very small micro mistake that just cost them the fight, but they're always just hungry for the objective. They're always playing for the objective, and it must be an extremely annoying playstyle to play against, because from Simplicity's perspective, they're getting kills, they're winning the fights. There you had Wubby spinning on top of a stun orb. you have these little weird moments within the fight that are just going terribly wrong for Granite Gaming. The Sanctification's just not barely landing or something just hardly going wrong, but they make Simplicity really work for it. This was the first time that, although Simplicity was ahead in kills, this pick onto Hogger led to another pick, which allows them to actually finally get an Immortal for themselves, because although Granite was losing the fights, they were winning all the objectives and they were winning on the map. So it's an interesting dynamic between Simplicity that seems like they just want to fight constantly. They always just are looking for these team fights, looking for the aggression, and Granite Gaming that's kind of just running away from them, maybe sending Breeze in to confuse them and distract them, and they think, oh, it's a free kill on Tyrael, but meanwhile the whole team is just doing something on the map, just getting an objective or doing something that it doesn't appear Simplicity is even aware of it. So I don't think that the series is quite over yet. Granite Gaming, I think if they can clean up these very small little micro mistakes within a team fight, they're running circles around Simplicity in the macro until they're not, until Simplicity just says, all right, we've had enough of this, and they kill their whole team and end the game. It's a battle. Granite's making it a fight, and it's definitely fun to watch.
It has been fun so far. Really good for Simplicity. I know a lot of... I've peeked at chat from time to time, and it seems like there's some shrimps in chat, or something like that. Some sort of crustacean I keep seeing in chat for maybe Slips, maybe Simplicity. I'm not 100% sure because I have to focus in on the broadcast. What I want you to focus in on is the fact that we have this prize pool, this lovely, lovely prize pool at $13,667. Now, there have been some changes to the prize pool and how it's going to be distributed to the teams. It is no longer a 60-40 split. It is 100% to the teams, meaning first place takes 35% of the prize pool, period, end of sentence. Also, Wisdom will be adding in $10,000 at the end of the season towards the prize pool as well. So, if you want to support these teams, and you want to support the prize pool, that 100% goes to the players, with first place taking 35%. You can use !prize pool in chat to find out all you can. We'll have some updated graphics in the future for that one for all of you to break down how all of that works. But, as I had mentioned, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we're going to find out, can Granite Gaming start to rally in this series, or will Simplicity, well, simply shut things down and move up against Storm Esports? You'll find out very soon here on HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. I'm still Bahamut, joined by Justing and Evil Doppelganger Grubby. I do have to be honest, I did look at Twitch chat at one point, and someone was like, oh, you look like an evil guy, and like I was thinking about it, I was like, man, Grubby, he kind of looks like a little bit like you could be like a Marvel or a DC villain, like, you know, like outside of the super suit, like that's your persona or how you look.
Like Doctor Strange?
Yes, but he's a good guy and he's not evil, I think. I haven't seen the new movie yet, so I'll wait and see. Maybe he becomes an evil guy in the new movie. I haven't seen it.
Why is it that when I wear a beard, I'm suddenly the evil guy, but when you wear a beard, you always look like a good guy?
No, because I'm always evil. That's the thing. that's just the baseline. I can't grow hair, so it's just that's what happens. You lose your hair, you become a supervillain, and you create a large laser that shoots the moon. But we're not here to talk about my death laser or anything like that. We're here to talk about Heroes the Storm and the exciting matchup between Granite Gaming and Simplicity, as Simplicity is looking really, really strong here, and we're gearing up for map number 3, which could be the final map in this first best of 5 of the day. Justing, as we're about to take a look at the map, I want to get your thoughts on just everything, as we're going to be heading to Tomb of the Spider Queen, chosen by the members of Simplicity, but I want to get your thoughts here as we're getting into this third map.
So, this is a good map for the side of Simplicity. They're 2-0, but they're not really winning on the macro front. They're mostly just winning through brute force in the team fights. And this is a map that, unless things go horribly wrong, you don't typically lose just through macro. Usually there's a lot of fights that need to happen. The objective isn't very strong early on. And I've talked a bit about the gem economy, where if the enemy team uses their gems a little bit too early in the game, they kind of run out if they don't have enough momentum to end the game off of back-to-back turn-ins. So this should be a good map for Simplicity. I'm hoping to see Granite Gaming maybe switch up their drafts a bit. They've been picking their first 2 picks of just very off-meta things twice now, and it hasn't worked for them so far. They've been giving a lot of strong meta picks over to Simplicity. So we'll see if the drafts change a bit here, going into Game 3 where, you know, everything's on the line for Granite Gaming right now.
It is tournament life. It is season life, actually, on the line right now, because there's no bottom bracket to fall into, and we've got the readies coming out from the players, and I think we're about to get into Tomb of the Spider Queen. I mean, you know, it's a great map for Cho'Gall, woo, yay, but, like, realistically, it is a map that is not easy to end on, Grubby. Like there's a lot of patience that has to go into this map. Like I've said this before, like Tomb feels like a 12-minute map or a 24-minute map. There's no kind of in between.
Yeah, it's because the objective on Tomb of the Spider Queen is purely a pushing objective. It almost does as little interaction with defending players as Towers of Doom objective. Yeah, there's the purple death wave, and yeah, the little spider babies can sometimes auto-attack you, but they're not as strong as Brax's Holdout, where there's Banelings and Ultras and Hydras and Guardians. And it's not as strong as the Alterac Pass objective that gives movement speed, attack damage, and spell damage to all attacking heroes. So as a pure pushing objective, all it does is it disables enemy structural defenses to the degree that you don't move into them and attack an enemy player PvP, because it'll retarget on top of you, forts and keeps. So it's just a push mechanic. You need to earn every inch on Tomb of the Spider Queen over and over via team fights, via battles, via pickoffs, and via saving yourself. Even when you're pushing with the Web Weavers, you're still 5-on-5. It's 5 versus 5, and you gotta make it work every single time in the team fight.
We're seeing a Joanna ban, which is really, really, really good from Simplicity because she's great for the double soak rotation. This is another target ban onto Slips, so I can't recall the first map bans. I didn't screenshot them like I normally do, but I know last map and this map we are seeing target bans onto Slips' Hanzo, which I really, really like to see because Justin, he had beautiful Hanzo play in Week 7, as I mentioned before, and we're still seeing an amazing roster of heroes from Slips still, like Lunara, Cassia. It's looked all great for Slips so far today.
Yeah, he was looking really strong in the last game on the Cassia, and
Yeah.
Tiger JK also. The last game was kind of a very different one for him. It was kind of the first game where they looked good and they looked dominant with him playing a ranged, as he's pretty much only been playing these melees like the Maiev, like the Thrall, like the Kerrigan.
Yeah.
But that was a Li Ming from Tiger JK, and he had some repulsions at level 20, and he had some with his ultimates. He interrupted the Sanctification once. He had good interrupts onto the Hogger as well with the Wave of Forces. So he was looking quite strong on the Li Ming, and that can open up a lot of draft options for Simplicity if he's not forced to play a melee.
Back onto Lunara, a great hero for this map. Blaze has been great from Casper as well. Liked his play in the last game. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, Justin. Like, some of the Tiger JK's combos on Li Ming last game were fantastic, but not sure if we'll see Li Ming on this map. She can kind of amplify the wave. Ooh, okay, taking a page from Wildheart here, Grubby.
Yeah, Nazeebo coming out here.
It's early.
We're not going to see the Nazeebo Stukov Zul combo. It is going to be Leoric, but Nazeebo, it's funny because he's a wave clear dependent hero to get his stacks, but he's not actually fantastic at wave clear. I recently saw Tassadar in another competition on Tomb of the Spider Queen that did get a W here. He has really good wave clear Tassadar. Nazeebo, it's really mediocre, but he does have good health. He has good mana and health sustain from the wave, and Ravenous Spirit can be pretty alright. And Zombie Ball is kind of unique in how it can lock down certain tanks, even that may have an Unstoppable. But overall though, I wouldn't exactly call it a power pick. It gets good at level 20 with Poison, but into Blaze with Bunker, that's always going to be there to cleanse out all the poison damage. And even Lunara's Abolish Magic removes poison. So it feels like a little bit of a weak pick here. Weak pick here.
Wonder if there's... Didn't we see, like... Wasn't it like Nazeebo Medivh last season, Justin, on like Volskaya Foundry or something crazy?
Yeah, Diamond Hands played that. They made that look super scary. They had the combo where they had the ley line that set up the puddle and the zombie wall, where they would just one-shot someone out of the ley line. It was really strong. I'm surprised to see Brightwing not being banned away, as it is now picked up. I expected a Brightwing ban from Granite, and I expected almost anything but a Diablo ban from Simplicity. They are the team that gets this next 2 picks, so I was worried that if Simplicity got a Diablo Brightwing, that the draft was just lost for Granite completely, but they do ban the Diablo, which is strange, giving away the Brightwing as well. They take the Anub for themselves, and we'll see what Granite picks for their tank position, assuming it's not a Leoric for Breeze.
Gonna be May.
Gonna be ETC, I guess. I did like that. I did, it's gonna be May. Anyways,
It's kind of
I followed you.
Right.
I followed you. But either way, let's see. Last pick from Simplicity. I really do like the Simplicity draft overall. I think the Anubrak is strong, but I agree, Justin. If Lupus got that Diablo again, I think it could have been all over even without knowing this last pick. But we will get this last pick from Tiger JK. Could be the Maiev. Could be a Kerrigan. What do you think about this all, Justing, as we are about to load into Tomb of the Spider Queen? Could be the final map for Granite Gaming in this season.
Yeah, I will say that this is the one game where I would say the draft is the least favored towards Simplicity. Game 1, Granite Gaming had a good draft with the double support, but it didn't seem like that was really their go-to playstyle, and they didn't really take the talents that I would have expected a team that's been just running double support permanently to go. This game, they did get the Lucio early, which is super strong. Have Nazebo Leoric, which is very good on the map, and it's good into the Kerrigan. I'm really not a fan of the Kerrigan last pick. I think we might see a similar situation to game 1, where you have a lot of CC and a lot of burst damage for Simplicity, but not a lot of staying power in the fights. If they fail and engage, they should just lose the fight to Granite Gaming. They have tons of sustain damage with the Nazebo, with the Leoric even from the off lane. You have Tassadar with sustain damage. And you also potentially have a high 5 to negate all of these CC combos that Simplicity is so reliant upon. So as long as Breeze is able to play safe on the ETC and just play for Ws to be able to create space for his double range to do more damage, I think Granite Gaming's comp on paper looks quite a bit better for the map.
Well, let's go ahead and introduce our teams and find out what's going to happen here, because I'm feeling it for Simplicity, but let's see what Granite Gaming has here, as Azurite will be on the Lucio, Poik on the Nazebo, will be on the Leoric, Quacknix on the Tassadar, and Breeze to play the ETC. On the side of Simplicity, looking to take the series in a 3-0 through Tomb of the Spider Queen, we got Wishing on the Brightwing, Tiger JK on the Kerrigan, Lupus on the Anubrak, Slips to play the Lunara, and Casper on that Blaze once again. I've already alluded to what I think here, Grubby, as we have a immediate Jet Propulsion in and a Kerrigan to dive in as well. Breeze gets a great power slide. Tiger JK goes the way that I wasn't thinking he would to try and get out of that. Azurite getting some push-offs and is able to disengage. Casper missing the Jet Propulsion will be a little bit low here, but I think that's as much as we will see at the start. Maybe Casper falls? No, he won't. But now, Grubby, want to pose the question to you. Thoughts on the drafts for Tomb?
Yeah, Granite Gaming has a Tomb of the Spider Queen themed draft with their wave clear between Naz and Taz. Taz helps Naz to get the stacks, and Taz clears the wave, and Naz is the late game powerhouse. Now, both of them can be quite vulnerable into heavy dive. There is a slight lack of follow-up damage because there's only one backline range damage dealer. If Lucio and maybe Leoric with the spooky build, the E-build, Ominous Wrath, that reduces people's damage by 50%, if Leoric goes for that and Lucio can get a nice sound barrier during the hard engage, then I think Granite Gaming has the lead actually in this one as well because of the map. So maybe this is where the reverse sweep starts to happen. Now, sound barrier, is that the play here? There's loads of things to high five, to be sure. And maybe that's going to be the pick. In fact, I'd say it's more likely. But I wouldn't be opposed to sound barrier, as it can be risky for Lucio to try and high five multiple people against such a heavy burst and hard engage comp. Oh,
Goodbye.
Wait, how did they... There was a Wisp there. He knew he's there.
No, Lunara's Wisp.
Yeah.
Ally side. Oh, I see. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Tassadar was
I
literally
misunderstood
chilling.
what you meant. Yeah.
No,
sorry.
yeah, I mean, I could be more descriptive, and maybe we can see the replay, but, like, I believe Tassadar was literally chilling next to a Wisp.
It's either he was next to it or it was like just outside the... I'm not sure. Anyways, maybe we can take a look at it. Maybe production can get us that replay so we can see it. But it is a second kill for the side of Simplicity. Azurite, Breeze are coming down here. So is Slips. Casper very low. Pops the Pyromania but stays in the fight because here comes the phase shift from Brightwing. Whoopi getting very low on the Leoric. Is going to fall. He's going to try and Wraith Walk away, but the damage over time should be enough. And a Leoric to fall... Actually, that's going to be Tassadar and Leoric to fall for this camp. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's wait, did Tassadar really fall?
He died, right?
I don't remember. Oh yeah,
so
he died before. He didn't die for the camp. He just died. There's that replay. Yeah, he was.
I could have been more descriptive too. So he was out of it, then stepped into it, started hitting it, and then he
Yeah.
He was still dead.
Tassadar was dead. They took the camp because Tassadar was dead.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then Leo died for the camp. And what's interesting is that Granit Gaming did not send Cass or Nazeebo to go help there. But literally all 5 members of Simplicity showed up for the camp invasion play, for the contest, which is standard. Granit Gaming not doing that, end up losing a hero that comes back super fast in Leoric, and it allowed Nazeebo to continue soaking and pushing, killing the entire mid wall. So I would say that's one of the more okay sacrifices and feed for value plays from Leoric, from Wooby there. And this is a Granit Gaming team decision to not send all the ranged DPS. Feels okay, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, the experience is still very close between both the teams. I'm going to take a look really quickly. Where is that being made up? Minion experience is really where that deficit has been made up, because there's a decent amount from the kills, but that's going to be a zombie wall that actually helps out the side of Simplicity. Poik playing for the wrong team over here is going to be... It's a 6v4.
Yeah, he would have been dead either way.
Oh, sure.
With that kind of combo.
It's just so unfortunate, though. It's like, like, as the Nazeebo player, you're like, oh, I just screwed up my ally.
Yeah, a little bit. You can lower the wall after a short delay, but ultimately he was double stunned, he was pulled in, he was getting auto-attacked. He was down already. Nice dodge on the burrow charge. Simplicity has enough to turn in. So does Granit Gaming, but they show up to stop Simplicity from paying.
Neither team has gotten a Web Weaver just yet in this map number 3. Tiger JK at 36 stacks on that level 4, the sharpened blades, only needing another, 39 or so, I think is the caster math on that one. As we have the level lead starting to form here for Simplicity. Power slide in from Breeze. There's a zombie wall that kind of blocks him, and he does have the Crowd Surfer from level 4. So ETC does have the available skills of Crowd Surfer to try and get away from some of these zombie walls, because I do believe you can just power slide right through them.
Yeah, and he can... So, he picks Crowd Surfer so he can go through his own Nazeebo walls and Tassadar wall and Entomb.
Yeah.
So smart. But it also has some downsides. If you're standing in front of a tomb and you want to stun people and stay inside to mosh pit them, you could actually go through by accident. So the only condition for using it is that you're very aware of how it works. Now, Simplicity got the turn in. Tiger JK got that final turn in there. He's getting his stacks. He's doing very well with that. 47 stacks already by level 9.3. And let's see what Simplicity can get with this.
100 stacks for a Nazeebo. Unfortunately, only 16 stacks on the Pandemic or the Toads at level 1. Did go into, I believe, the Blood Ritual at level 4, which gives a little extra stacking for takedowns, but fortunately for Granit, it's 0 takedowns to 4, and that gap that I had talked about when it comes to experience is really starting to show in favor for Simplicity, as they will be the ones pushing in with Web Weavers and 10 talent tier, Ultralisk, Blink Heal, Thornwood Vine, Cocoon, and Bunker for the Blaze.
Breeze has looked pretty good on ETC so far. This was a tank that was meta when he was at his most pro, at his most renowned reputation building phase in his HoTS career. This one is a little bit more dodgy, this move, to be honest, as he power slides into 5 people. That's a jinx. I mean, that's a jinx. That's me on my voodoo doll pulling the ETC doll apart.
Oh, it was a good polymorph from Brightwing as well, wishing on point with these polymorphs for Simplicity, and this is a 0 to 6 kill game. Still is very early for Tomb, and we actually haven't had much structural damage on the side of Granit. Looking at the gem economy right now, we still have a few more that need to be picked up for Simplicity. On the opposing side, Granit Gaming, they've got enough for a turn-in, and the Nazeebo's got quite a few Leoric and Tassadar as well.
Breeze power slides through the camp. They've got Siege camp and Bruiser camp. Tassadar getting attacked. Oh, he should be down.
Ooh, pops the... Nope. Bye-bye.
Nope.
And Lupus tries to zone back the gems, but Breeze is able to step and pick him up, so that's really good for the side of Granit Gaming. 64 in their pockets, 67 in total available, with 3 already turned in. On the opposing side, Simplicity, they've enough for another turn-in. Will they be able to get it turned in? Looking to see who's got the vast majority. It's going to be Kerrigan and Lunara for the time being. Ooh, Blaze in bottom. He's fine.
Trying to get Blaze. Blaze is he playing it safe? Yes, he is. Casper's just fine. Kerrigan, quest complete. Was zoning here together with the Wisp. Granit Gaming knows they're being spotted with that Wisp providing the red eye over every member of Granit Gaming. Lucio combo, he's comboed!
And Kerrigan goes in with the Ravage, finds the extra little bit of damage to secure the kill. Lucio might have been able to amp it up. Breeze drops the Mosh, but it doesn't do much beyond, well, a small dance party as the cow will be cooked right there. It's looking like ribs for dinner as Leoric will fall as well.
Yeah, it's looking like Simplicity will end in time for dinner as well.
I almost spit my water.
10-0, kill after kill, good clean Kerrigan combos. Lupus doing what he needs to do. Slips coming in with the damage. Let's see again this dinner timing engage there. Here's the combo on Lucio. He could not get away. The attempt to give the peel from Breeze, and he gives the high five to Lucio, but it was not enough. Slips with the crucial damage coming in. Partnix doing some damage from the back, but ultimately that fight never started like how it was meant to start. And back in the present, more calcium for Simplicity as they take down Leoric once again. Blue Web Weavers do go to Granit Gaming. It will provide a small stopgap to stop the pressure of the boss, but it also throws away the gems without any hope to really push with it.
Yeah, this is more of a defensive Web Weaver phase for this side of Granit Gaming. Just kind of gives something for the members of Simplicity to do so Granit can kind of get themselves back and organized and also close this experience gap that has formed between, well, mostly it's just heroic kills. We've got nearly 7,000, let me update that stat, 7,500 experience specifically just for heroic kills, and that's what's leading this massive advantage to the side of Simplicity. Among, actually, is it just that? It's pretty much just that. Everything else is really close on the board. There's a bit more experience for Mercenaries, but still, Simplicity is just coming through in a dominant way, and they're a level away from level 16, which really could just mean that Simplicity runs around the map, chases down Simplicity, and looks for kill after kill, maybe even more structures.
Yeah, Simplicity, it's equal in structures right now, but you're right. There's a big difference there in the momentum and the power level and the kills and the XP so far. And Simplicity is just going to kind of... they've got two choices. They can either play a little bit safely and wait till level 16, or they can just continue doing what they have been doing, which is winning fights. Lupus, 1v5, he's fine. Doesn't feel a lot of threat coming in here. Is he going to cocoon anyone?
I'm waiting to see if we get that cocoon set up maybe onto Lucio or something, as that's been the play in the past. Top lane fort will fall to the Web Weaver. I think it just got sneezed on by the death wave, the purple necrotic wave that gets fired out by this Web Weaver. As Tiger JK and friends, they're looking to step in through mid lane. Leoric is mostly cleared out bottom, so this will be a double fort phase in favor of our red team. And this is actually still a really healthy wave in mid with the camp, but it seems like, oh, they're going for the bag of bones.
Trying to get Wooby now. He did not trigger his Wraith Walk yet. Now he does. He has got the 50% damage reduction Wraith Walk as well. The Ominous Wrath. Slips trying to chase. Does he have another Thornwood Vine in him? Yes, but he can't get the distance on him.
It still will be a triple fort phase for this Web Weaver. That's huge. And also, Simplicity Grubby can turn in once again, and the waves are pushed up because the Web Weaver descends into the wave as far up as the enemy minion wave or closest structure. So if the turn-in happens right now, these Web Weavers are descending into fort, maybe even keep front gate range.
And again, two options. Simplicity can do that, which you just spoke about, or they can push now, use another 10-20 seconds of the Bruiser camp and their talent advantage, and use the final seconds of the talent advantage to secure a turn-in without any hope for a counter contest. And it looks like they're kind of going in between that. They stayed for 5 seconds, now turning in. How much did they get in the mid? About 1.5 towers, so pretty solid. Turn-in comes in, they attack the siege camp. Simplicity is well set up for a really good, another objective phase. Maybe the third one for them?
Yes, I believe this is the third for yes, this would be the third for them, because the first got a little bit, the second got 3/4, and now we'll see how much value this one gets. Though we talked about how far the Web Weavers could descend previously, now that the waves were pushed out a little bit, these, well, actually no, bottom lane got cleared out, mid lane got cleared out, so this is actually still should be pretty good for Simplicity's positioning.
Yeah.
A little further back in top, but I think they might be looking at Leoric once again, but no, he's able to read this. He's also got the Wraith Walk available.
Kerrigan combo. High five comes out, saves Nazeebo. Poik throwing his stuff, throwing spiders and toads and zombies. That's a Web Weaver gone. That took about half a tower, not too much. top has been aggressively defended by Wooby. He's got his Wraith Walk. He's gonna actually run into a Kerrigan combo, most likely. No, that's the Ominous Wrath's bonus duration. He got away. A really, really good defense by Granite Gaming. They lost 2 towers during this. 1 tower top. No, not even.
Wow. Yeah, really, really good defense.
1 or 2 towers bot, 1 mid, and that's about it. So really good defense, yeah.
Granite's got enough for their second turn in. Breeze is gonna be hit by a few. Okay, goodbye. No, actually, he's fine. He's A-okay. Big Entomb. That's a big Entomb from Leoric, but here comes the bunker down from the Blaze. Poi taking a lot of damage, just get the cleanse from the Lucio at the high 5. Casper comes in. There's another high 5 out from Lucio as the Tassadar pops his Archon form. There's a Leoric to be cocooned. Not sure about the targeting on that one, but either way, this is still going to be 0 to 12 in kills, favoring Simplicity as the map has been pushed in by our red team, who look for the top lane boss. And I'm looking at vision by the enemy really quickly. They don't see this, and I think Granite, they're like, they have to assume the enemy's on boss, so it's like, let's get a second turn in. Let's get something on the map in our favor.
Yeah, and Granite Gaming used a lot of ults there. They only have Mosh Pit, which is relatively easy to interrupt when you have no other threats like Entomb and whatnot. And that's off the back of a fight where Granite Gaming saved ETC with the high 5 and then got a Tomb full Ravenous Spirit combo on top of almost the entire team of Simplicity, but the bunker saved them there. That bunker remains a thorn in the sides of Granite Gaming. They came out with really not much worse for the wear after all was said and done, and even had a little bit of a combo going into Quacknix there on Tassadar. In comes the Burrow Charge. Wooby goes away.
Wooby's able
Last
to
chance.
Wraith Walk. Yeah, he's able to disengage through the bottom lane. We got Kerrigan clearing out mid. We've got Blaze to deal with bottom. And by the time top gets into a spot where it could actually do something, I'm assuming the members of Simplicity will be easily able to clear that out as well. You see Blaze finishing out that bottom lane on the bottom right of your screen.
The turn in mid has already been cleared. That's insane how fast.
Yeah.
Bottom, top, it's doing almost nothing. Now we look at the gem counts. We're seeing, there's about 30 on the side of Granite. About 35 on the side of Simplicity. Yeah. 35-39, so neither having a win condition, but the level 20 for Simplicity is enough for them to step up and start attacking this fort. Thornwood Vine has the bonus range, so Slips is doing damage from very far away indeed.
I'm watching patiently to see how this is attempted because it's a solid 2-level lead, a talent tier advantage, specifically 20, one of the best talent tiers in the game. 50% of the keep will go down. 42 gems in the pocket of 65 for Simplicity. 42 actually on the side of Granite Gaming out of 60 for them as Tiger JK will grab the camp for mid lane. And Casper pushes up the wave. Wubby, where are you going? He's just gonna go turn in like 13 gems?
Yep, 17 actually. He wouldn't have gone for 13, but 15 and above, definitely. And 17, okay. he's gonna go right away there.
Okay, can Slips and Lupus, they seemingly want to chase this. Slips is going to throw a little more damage out. Brightwing is pushing up the bottom lane, mid lane's pushing up. It's looking good for Simplicity, but what can they do at this point? Either they charge in the face of Granite or find 10 more gems. This is the hard part about Tomb of the Spider when we were talking about the initiation of the draft. It's just you get to this point in the game, it's kind of like, what do you do?
Yeah, this is why Tomb sometimes finishes slowly. Now, this is off the back of a decision where Simplicity actually went for the boss and then took Bruiser. So they didn't push with the boss despite level lead and momentum lead. So they didn't get a keep. And now they're just giving a free level 20 basically to Granite Gaming. And this is kind of okay for them because they're slowly getting another turn in. There's almost no chance that doesn't get a keep or more. With just, how many? Yeah, they have enough, actually.
Oh.
No, yeah, now they have enough. There we go.
Both teams, I think, almost simultaneously got those picked up. I saw the flash from both sides as Kerrigan will work on the bottom lane camp. We have Blaze turning in a few. Actually, I'm going to hit tab really quickly, see how many he's got. What? Are they just chilling?
Yeah, they want their level 20. They're saying, hey, this Web Weaver, it's the final win condition for now for Simplicity. Boss will be up in 120. Granite Gaming is betting everything on a Hail Mary play. They're going to absorb 1 or 2 keep deaths. Then they're going to get a kill. Then they're going to go for boss. and then they're going to win with Nazeebo level 20. That's their play. As for Simplicity, they're going to try to get 3 keeps, and then sit back and enjoy the macro inevitability of a victory. Let's see who has the right of way, who will get what they want out of this next 2 minutes that will decide the game.
Well, let's see what happens here. The next 2 minutes will be extremely critical, as you were mentioning. Here comes the Web Weaver through bottom and mid. Bottom lane, Keep is already starting to take some major damage. See a ping or two onto Casper. Thornwood Vines are out. Nazeebo already done, of course, with his level 20 because he's got 270 stacks. A little overstacked right there, but good on him. 58 on the level 1 for said Nazeebo. And we're just kind of waiting here to see what else comes of this Web Weaver phase. A lot was put into it, but Simplicity kind of getting held back here, which is nice.
No force wall usage by Quacknix yet, even though it's on like a 5-second cooldown. Gonna try to combo ETC. They used a lot on it, didn't work because he got the high five. This is a chance for Granit Gaming to maybe get back into it and stop the reverse sweep. There's an Archon. I'm still not seeing a lot of force walls. There's one on the Nubarak. He takes a lot of damage. Breeze with the power slide.
Wow.
What does Breeze have for level 20? Bolt. Bolt Mosh is still a potential play. Granit Gaming have survived. Not a single keep have gone down. Simplicity didn't utilize the Web Weaver too much. They got half a keep. Good defense by Granit.
I was expecting a lot more from Simplicity with that Web Weaver phase, but I'm very proud of Granit Gaming for how they defended, how they held. Looking at the map, we've got a camp on the right, we've got boss up and available. Granit Gaming want to scout out this boss, and Wubby will be seen in the rotation because of the Sentinel Wisp. Tiger JK getting scouted out by that Force Wall. Leoric is looking for a flank over here. Actually, Leoric is just going to casually turn in.
Yeah, remember he did 17. He's definitely going to do 24.
That's true. That's true. I was wondering if it was one of those moments where it's like, hey, Leoric, we're fighting. What are you doing? Like, stop turning in. Come team fight with us. But it wasn't that case. And it is going to be that buried alive at level 20. Man, this is...
Whoa.
Yeah?
Kerrigan started the boss by herself. They're realizing how turtle Granit is playing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Quacknix Tassadar has enough to turn in all by himself. They're gonna look. They see it. Okay, they see the boss.
Leoric is still in the mid lane, so this is a great fight for Simplicity, but so many Granite members are just kind of kiting backwards, and that's a great entomb. Kerrigan gets out of it. There's a mosh pit on the right side. Chrysalis was used, buys a little bit of time. Wishing coming through. Lupus a little bit low on the top of our screen. Cocoon onto the ETC as the bunker came down from the blaze. Lupus throws out some CC, decides to continue fighting as the ETC will go down. We do have Kerrigan to be traded, but there goes Leoric. It's going to be a bit of a back and forth in this engagement with Slips a little bit low. Blaze to fall here. Azurite chasing in. Lupus is low. Wishing has got the blink heals. The well tap happens. Is this the turnaround onto Azurite?
Well, they're trying, but he was a little bit too fast. But I still feel like Granit is playing very risky. I don't know why Poik wasn't here with the team when the other two are aggressively pushing in. Quacknix trying to get away. Lupus must have another burrow charge in seconds. That's a lot of damage from Poik. He's really hurting Anubarak here. Now he becomes the target. He has a health pool of about 4,000 or 5,000. About 5,000 health pool. It's a 3-on-3. By the way, these were the first 2 kills of Granit Gaming in the entire game. 2 versus 14 now. They've got turn-in availability. Leoric comes back soon. This may be a turn-in for Granit Gaming. Quacknix finally getting those precious gems turned in.
320 Voodoo Ritual stacks, which is 1,920 extra health for Nazeebo. He's got 5,483 health right now. Actually, it keeps going up. It's like 5,500 still. It really, really well played from Poik on the stacking on Nazeebo. Does have that Toad talent done from level 1 as well, and I'm just skimming through to see if there's anything of note talent-wise. But no, as the Web Weavers have descended, and we'll see what Simplicity can do. Can they be the ones to hold on here with these late-game Web Weavers dealing significant damage into structures?
Casper flank, defensive force wall. Quacknix still on the flank there, shooting side storms over the wall. Tries to fish with a psionic charge. There's a power slide in. He takes the armor debuff from the fort. Meanwhile, Ravenous Spirit doing a lot of damage on Lupus. Kerrigan dropping real low. He's 212 life when he went in there. Comes out 400. There's a side storm. If he hits the Q, Kerrigan is dead.
Kerrigan does have Chrysalis.
Blinked out of range.
And still has the Chrysalis too, which is crazy to me. I was just watching the cooldowns as the mid lane fort will fall, top lane fort to fall. Granite Gaming building back the momentum here in map number 3. They are not done with their season just yet, as these toads are just absolutely shredding through the structure. Yeah, two toads essentially took down one tower.
Yeah. They're allowing Granite Gaming to leapfrog back into the game now in a 3 versus 3 keep situation. Granite Gaming is vibing. They still have Blaze on their minimap up top, so they're pushing with 5 members in here. The power dynamic has changed. Poik is sieging the keep. It's so much damage. This is insane.
High five from Lucio. We do have the boss up and available. Camps, actually all camps are available on the map now that I look at it completely. And Wubby will be the target of some CC, but I'm assuming Simplicity doesn't want to go. That's a power slide in from ETC. The Polymorph will be there. Cocoon onto the Lucio. Breeze has to Bolt of the Storm away. There's going to be some decent damage onto Wubby. The bunker comes down from Blaze as he gets out on the far side. The Force Wall not able to lock him in place. Entomb from Leoric does connect onto the Kerrigan. The phase shift in from the Brightwing. There's the interrupt onto the Mosh Pit from a Noobrat. Casper a little bit low. There's the Ultralist jumping in as well. Wubby trying to Wraith Walk in slow down the damage, and Wubby's draining through a lot of this, but still, the Leoric goes down. Tiger JK will fall as well. No Chrysalis was able to be used to save him there. It's on an 82-second cooldown. Slips getting a little bit low, getting poked at by Azurite with that mixing fire level 20. Kerrigan for Leoric. Still feels like Granite actually come out on top of this.
Yep, definitely feels that way, because Leoric can still slow, he can still scout, and he comes back faster. I could not have predicted that the first keep of the game would go towards Granite Gaming, but are they overstaying? Tassadar is low in mana. He can get more mana from getting auto attacks in, but it's hard to get autos in during such a moment. It's time for Granite to turn around and get camps. That's how I feel like, but that's not how they feel like, as they keep pushing in here, even turning on Archon. I find this to be quite mad. The fact that they're staying here, it's risky. They're trying to fish for more kills. Leoric comes back and he's gonna have it buried alive. Maybe that's what they're playing for.
Well, the core shielding has just been touched by some toads. We do have the mid lane pushing up in favor for Simplicity, and it seems like finally Granite Gaming will back away. Lennar getting a little bit of that spell shielding from the Brightwing, and okay. Alright, so boss is up, camps are up, web weavers are available. Yeah. And Simplicity knows this. They're trying to stop this from happening, but I don't know if they're going to get there in time.
They do not. Granite Gaming had 4 camps on the map. They just went for the objective. That's a combo, and Nazeebo did not pan out. There's a high five as well. There's a lot of counter damage going in. This is the dream for Nazeebo. Tassadar, Mosh Pit, and there's no interrupt. It's a full Mosh Pit. Polymorph on ATC. He does go down.
ETC, the first one to fall in this fight, is not what I was thinking I'd be saying in the moments here, as the bunker came down perfectly from Casper, who goes for the Jet Propulsion. There's a shock ray out from Tassadar. High five. Casper throws out the oil. The web weavers are here. Top lane pushing in. Bottom lane really far in. Casper, another force wall, pops the Pyromania. Jet Propulsion's away. Will this web weaver in bottom end? 4 members of Granite Gaming, they want to try. Will they be able to? Let's find out.
Tomb in 10 seconds. They're pushing in on the core. Quite mad without ETC. Kerrigan is top, of course, but Kerrigan is coming now. Granite Gaming, will they be aware? Oh no, Kerrigan is still top. Okay. You're just going for the core?
I saw it too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, Kerrigan, yeah, she's gonna leave and then flank in, but now, okay, now here comes the engagement from Kerrigan. We have a lot of damage onto someone in the backline. There's gonna be the buried alive, but Wubby had to step forward to try and land it onto anybody. The rewind onto no, they turn around, they want Poik here. Tiger JK was like, no, let me solo them. I'll go ahead and get that kill. Y'all go kill that Nazeebo. Slips should be able to get the kill, will be able to do so. That's a triple kill. Webweaver mid did find the keep, but with 4 members just now falling, with an average death timer of 50 seconds, I can't see a world where Simplicity doesn't try and end through middle or top, or bottom or top.
They have 6 gems needed to turn in. They could go for that as a
yeah.
backup. They could go for the boss as a backup. But they do not.
ETC.
They're pushing in. Well, he's using the Echo Pedal to do dismounts. And he still has Bolt. Leo is back here. Yeah, I think this is it. I think that's going to be it.
I don't think the death timers are short enough for this one. Lupus will take down the fort with some beetles. We do have... this is an all-in. I don't see a world where ETC solos this. Maybe Wubby helps out a little bit. if this is a failed core attempt from Simplicity, Granite Gaming will end, but I'm already seeing some GGs. We get the mosh pit onto 1. Okay, though, there's the phase shift from Brightwing. Okay, so it is going to be over right now. Slips is actually full HP. GG, Granite Gaming, they take 8th place in Season 4 of HeroesCCL. So Simplicity moves on in our bracket, and they will go up against Storm Esports next today. We have 2 best of 5s today, so we'll see that coming up in a little bit. But of course, before we start to even talk about Simplicity versus Storm Esports, we have to talk about Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we have everyone's favorite person on the HeroesCCL analysis desk, Justin, to break that down for you.
Aw, thanks, Baha. Appreciate that. So this was a dominant game from almost start to finish for Simplicity. They got pick after pick after pick in the early to mid game, but they were playing against a composition that is waiting for level 20s. There was a strategy behind what Granite Gaming was doing, and Simplicity made one critical error in the game that made the game so close, and it was based on the gem economy that I talk about quite a bit. It was level 18 to 16, and Simplicity had its last bit of gems. That was its big mistake, was turning in. If you turn in with Simplicity's composition with no picks, you don't really have anything to siege. You're sieging into Nazebo and Tassadar, 2 heroes that I would consider to be basically goalies, where you can't siege into them at all because they just clear the wave instantly. And you had this melee heavy pick focused composition from Simplicity that just can't siege into what Granite Gaming has. They need space to chase. In the middle of the map here, where they were getting a ton of picks in the early game, Simplicity's composition thrives because there's places where they can get fights, they can chase you down, they can run at you. They don't have to dive any forts to fight here. This is a place that Granite Gaming doesn't want to fight. But in their base, where they have a lot of safety and protection and they can just permanently clear the waves, there's no way for Simplicity to really siege in. So using their gems before the boss was available, they needed to be able to try to end the game before level 20 for Simplicity, because we saw how strong the level 20s were for Granite Gaming. They had the Buried Alive, the Entomb from Leoric. You also have the Tassadar with permanent walls. You had the Nazebo, who had his Vile Infection stacked. So you could tell that there was a massive shift in power in the team fight post level 20. But then Granite Gaming does also make their own critical error, which was where they lost the ETC and they choose to push in bottom here with their Web Weavers. They should be okay with losing the Web Weavers. You had Tiger JK diving into the backline, solo killing Azurite on the back, and just zoning the rest of the members here. If it weren't for this play by Granite Gaming, which I would say was a little bit of maybe some nerves, maybe some just, it's the pressure of the situation. It feels like, well, we've got the Web Weavers, this is our last Web Weavers, we should try to end with this. But their composition should be better at 20. This was the critical, the final blow to Granite Gaming. They weren't quite resilient enough. And Simplicity, I'm excited for them going into the next series, but if you've been watching as Storm, I think Simplicity's playbook right now looks somewhat predictable. I think if you maybe ban out the Tiger JK Kerrigan, play around their pick-focused compositions, they kind of lack siege in their comps. They're just playing for picks, and they're kind of lacking on the macro front. We'll have to see if Storm is able to take that apart and dismantle the strategy from Simplicity, or if Simplicity can come through with the brute force, just pick after pick after pick like they had against Granite Gaming.
It was a very, very good series from Simplicity and Granite Gaming. As I mentioned, they'll take 8th place, and they will be out for the season. So we will be getting ready for Simplicity up against Storm Esports coming up in just a little bit. Of course, we are going to have to take a little bit of a break to make sure that these players, we can get map bans, everyone can stretch their legs, get some water. And before we do any of that, I need to remind you that it's up to you to get the best picks for the winning team live as you're watching on cclmarkets.com. Justin.
The best part is that you can change your mind at any point during the game.
You just had to say it's free. That's all you had to say.
It's free.
If you pick wrong, you can sell your shares and buy the other team before the match is over. CCL Markets trade from 0 to 100 with shares of the winning team valuing at 100 and shares of the losing team expiring at 0. There's tons of prizes. Yeah?
I always mess this up. It's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Okay. There's tons of prizes this season, so join and play during every HeroesCCL broadcast. Thanks for Ball Street for partnering with us for HeroesCCL Season 4. So, as I had mentioned, we are going to be taking a short little break. I want to remind all of you in this break that you can use ! prize pool to get yourself over to the Matcherino. We have had a change in how the Matcherino split works for the season. First off, Wisdom will be adding $10,000 to the prize pool in lieu of the land being canceled for the players or for the teams. So that will be added in at the end of the season. And then also there was a change to the split to the teams. It's no longer a 60-40 split. It is now 100% going to the teams. So your donations go to the teams. So first place will take 35% of the entire prize pool. No longer do you have to do 60% then 35%. It's just 35% of whatever number you see on the bottom right when we are done with our season. But of course, as I had mentioned, we're going to get into a short little break. When we come back, we'll see Storm Esports go up against Simplicity. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom.